na našem tržištu, a sada predlažem da po agendi koju ste svi dobili nastavimo sa programom, tako da pozivamo profesora Ilina da nam ispriča upravo na temu čuvanje, pakovanje i distribucija povrća.
Dobar dan svima. Dobrodošli. U dogovoru sa gospodinom Petkovićem moj zadatak je da ispričam probleme vezane za berbu, skladištenje, kratkoročno, dugoročno i čuvanje, odnosno pakovanje i distribuciju.
Prevodioce, morate mikrofon, makar bežično.
Čujem se, ja imam glas.
Imate, ali prevodioce.
Dobro. Ja sam, dakle, Žarko Ilin, dolazim sa Poljopривредnog fakulteta u Novom Sadu, Departmana za ratarstvo i povrtарство, predmeta povrtарstvo, uža naučna oblast mi je povrtарstvo, a u okviru ovog predmeta predajem i bavim se tehnologijom proizvodnje, odnosno povrtarstvom, u najširem smislu reči, koja podrazumeva proizvodnju povrća na otvorenom polju, proizvodnju u zaštićenom prostoru i proizvodnjom, odnosno skladištenjem, čuvanjem povrća i osnovama prerade, pošto se kod nas preradom povrća bave tehnolozi. Ali agronom mora da zna po kojoj tehnologiji proizvodnje i koji to kvalitet sirovine za preradu mora biti. Bez obzira koji način prerade. Da li hladna prerada ili zamrzavanje, da li topla prerada ili pasterizacija, da li biofermentacija, da li sušenje ili dehidracija ili ti liofilizacija. U svakom slučaju, za svaki od tih je neophodan kvalitet sirovine. Svetska zdravstvena organizacija preporučuje isključivo i kad god je to moguće da se povrće u ishrani koristi isključivo u svežem stanju, kad god je to moguće. Pa tek onda na različite načine prerađeno ili na različite načine pripremljeno, ali u svakom slučaju minimalno obrađeno. Od svega nabrojanog, dakle, najrazličitijih načina prerade, još uvek bilo gde u svetu, tako i u ovom regionu, pa i u Srbiji, je najveća tražnja za svežim povrćem. Najveća. Ne zato što su to preporuke Svetske zdravstvene organizacije, nego je to ono što je i najlakše u svetu obezbediti. Sad tu imate nekoliko mogućnosti. Neki od profesionalnih proizvođača kažu da bez obzira na raznorazne fondove, investicije, oni još uvek nisu spremni u značajnija ulaganja u skladišni prostor, jer on podrazumeva određene troškove i veliki broj, pogotovo malih, nastoji kad god je to moguće uz minimalne troškove da plasira sve sa parcele. Međutim, mnoge promene, pogotovo u poslednjih 20 godina, će naterati ili teraju i te male da preko različitih udruženja, po primjeru u Evropskoj uniji, kooperativa, kod nas još uvek zadruga, se dobro organizuju kako bi u što skorije vreme investirali u skladišni prostor i kako bi mogli obezbediti ponudu narednih 9 ili 10 meseci do pristizanja svog ranog povrća, pogotovo krtolastog, korenastog i lukovičastog, u narednom periodu. Dakle, rekoh ja, minimum 9 do 10 meseci do pristizanja svežeg povrća naredne godine. Postoji tu još jedna mala mogućnost koja može da popuni tu prazninu između plasmana svežeg, skladištenja i čuvanja i stalne ponude, nebitno da li na domaćem tržištu ili u izvozu. Postoji mogućnost, i naravno i ona se odvija, proizvodnje u različitim oblicima i tipovima zaštićenog prostora sa ili bez dodatnog zagrevanja. Ali bez obzira na to, u svakom slučaju će u budućnosti, pogotovo u narednih 10 godina, za Srbiju biti izuzetno značajno ne samo plasman direktno sa parcele, nego kratkoročno i dugoročno čuvanje, za čega će vam biti neophodna adekvatna skladišta uz maksimalnu kontrolu svih mikroklimatskih uslova, a kako bi mogli obezbediti ne čuvanje 2, 3, 4, nego rekoh ja 6, češće 9 do 10 meseci uz, kad god je to moguće, minimalne gubitke. Sam proces skladištenja i čuvanja je izuzetna problematika, izuzetna. Kod nas se proučava sa fondom, ili predaje sa fondom časova od 3 plus 2, 15 nedelja, da bi moglo ovladati skladišnim, odnosno skladištenjem. No pre nego što dođe u skladište, svaki profesionalni proizvođač, kolega agronom, mora da obrati pažnju u ovom prvom ovde što sam obeležio, o proizvodnji, o tehnološkom procesu proizvodnje. Zašto? U povrtarstvu je važniji kvalitet, važnija je faza zrelosti sa kojim će povrće ući za kratkoročno ili dugoročno čuvanje. Pa makar mi imali i najsavršenije skladište, ako nam povrće nije u fazi optimalne tehnološke zrelosti, mi možemo imati značajne gubitke. Te gubitke će imati direktno profesionalni proizvođač ili ta naša zadruga ili kooperativa. Zato u tehnološkom procesu proizvodnje treba ispoštovati i najmanju kariku kako usled negativnih efekata abiotičkog stresa ne bi došlo do smanjenja kvaliteta povrća i kako bi se ono kvalitetno i dugo moglo čuvati bez prouzrokovača bolesti. Zatim dolazi berba, bez obzira, vidjet ćete nešto malo kasnije, da li je ona ručna, polumehanizovana ili mehanizovana, tu se krije veliki procenat budućih gubitaka. A nije isto da li je taj gubitak 7, 8, 10, 15 ili vrlo često 30 do 50%. Ova dva prethodna činioca, proizvodnja i berba, to mogu više nego da prepolove. Pa tek onda dolazi čuvanje, dakle uklanjanje primesa, klasiranje, kontrola kvaliteta na ulazu i na izlazu sirovine. Znači, na ulazu i na izlazu, znači nakon pakovanja. Ja znam da vi svi to već radite, pre svega zbog visokih zahteva lanaca mega marketa, ali je u ovom odnosno višemesečnom čuvanju jako dobro to uraditi i tokom čuvanja kako bi smanjili te gubitke. Jer na 500.000 tona samo 1% puta neka cena je dobit za proizvođača. Dakle, onda dolazi, rekoh ja, čuvanje, uklanjanje primesa, listova, delova, cveta, stabla, bilo šta god bilo, klasiranje, što je jako važno, i kad god je moguće u tehnološkom procesu proizvodnje ostvariti 70, 80, 90% prve klase, a ne 10, 12, 15 ili 20 na prinos od 50 tona. Pa na prinos od 50 tona sa 20% prve klase je svega 10 tona. A šta ćemo sa drugom klasom? Znači, već i u ovom prvom delu ostvariti visoko učešće, kad god je to moguće, 80-90% prve klase. Uz, rekoh ja, kontrolu kvaliteta i pakovanje, to je više marketinški. Nažalost, mi na ovim prostorima, ne znam u Hrvatskoj, ali nažalost mi ovde u Srbiji još uvek malo poklanjamo pažnju tom pakovanju. Nažalost, ali verovatno će i to doći. Naravno i taj transport. U prošlosti se povrće proizvodilo u blizini velikih gradova. Proizvodilo se u blizini velikih turističkih centara. Proizvodilo se u blizini industrijskih centara. Ogromnih industrijskih kompleksa. Jer tamo ljudi rade 8 sati, dođu od 8 do 16, dođe kući u 17, on nema vremena da kopa pašticu ili nema vremena da na svojim krovovima zgrada proizvodi povrće za sebe ili to, ako uradi, on je opet usređeno ono ili sačuvano, čuvano ili na različite načine prerađeno povrće. Jer mora da se hrani, je li tako? A potrebe su minimum 450 do 500 grama dnevno po glavi stanovnika. Za četvoročlanu porodicu minimum 2 kilograma. Puta 7 dana, to je 14-15 kilograma, puta 30 dana, puta 12 meseci, pa to je 800 do 1000 kilograma po glavi stanovnika. Znači, zato nam je bitan i ovaj ovde transport, jer tu moramo da obezbedimo neke uslove. Sad se to promenilo, ne transportujemo od Siriga do Novog Sada ili od Siriga do Beograda. Amerikanci iz Kalifornije transportuju u sve ostale države. Ili krompir i severne širom sveta. Tako će i ovde biti. Vidite ste možda i neke od primjera, Holandija šalje širom sveta. Ne samo brodskim pošiljkama. Ne samo železnicom, nego direktno KLM pošiljke za Japan. Taj paradajz košta, ali se danas te neke navike menjaju. Rekoh ja, gubici mogu biti izuzetno veliki. Bolje je da oni budu minimalni, jer mi skladištenjem ne možemo ništa popraviti. Koliko god to skladište bilo maksimalno kontrolisano i kompjuterizovano, mi možemo samo smanjiti negativne efekte, ali bez toga svakako ne možemo. I tu nam je bitno vreme berbe, optimalna zrelost, berba u kojim fazama. Rekao sam da je ovaj segment izuzetno važan. Jer ako ovde dođe do oštećenja, imat ćemo više problema u praksi. Sve ovo iz Srbije. Znači, nisam ništa uzeo iz Nemačke, Holandije, Francuske, Italije, Španije, Turske, Izraela ili bilo koje države, ni iz Hrvatske, nego iz Srbije. Šta hoću da kažem? Da profesionalni proizvođači su ovde ovladali tehnologijom proizvodnje, imaju vrhunsku proizvodnju i sada da li kroz IPARD ili kroz neke druge subvencije će verovatno početi više da ulažu ne samo u skladišni prostor, nego i u prerađivačke kapacitete. I gospodo, imat ćete ovde ozbiljnu konkurenciju, zavisit će i od vas koliko ćete se potruditi da priđete ovim profesionalnim proizvođačima kako bi oni pod što povoljnije uslove dobili maksimalno kvalitetnu opremu i sve usluge za kvalitetno i dugo čuvanje. Dakle, ja to neću raditi. Ne mislim ni da vam stoji na putu, čak naprotiv. Znači, berba ručna, to se izbacuje i zbog radne snage i bilo čega, minimalna oštećenja prilikom mehanizovanog vađenja, nebitno da li je to korenasta, krtolasta, lukovičasta, povrtarska vrsta, ili kombinovano, ručno mehanizovano kroz platforme, a kako bi broj radnika sveli na minimum. Jer bez obzira na cenu rada kod nas, 30, jesam dobro rekao, 30 eura za 8 sati ili u recimo jednoj Nemačkoj 10 puta 8, 80 eura, je li tako? To je za nas još uvek velika stavka, tako da kad god je to moguće čuvati, odnosno kad god je to moguće svesti broj radnika na minimum. Rekao sam da je za potrošača neophodno očuvati visok kvalitet, znači prvo ga postići, a zatim ga očuvati i očuvati tu svežinu za potrošača. Šta je suština? Ja sam kolegi Petkoviću rekao, ja ne mogu da pričam o voću, jer se skladišti voće i povrće, ja mogu samo o povrću. I jedno i drugo se prodaje vizuelno. Pa sigurno kada je ono jedro, lepo, sveže, sigurno da će tražnja biti velika. Šta se dešava sa svežim proizvodom nakon berbe? Smanjenje mase, narušavanje teksture, promene u ukusu, izgledu, boja, povećan sadržaj šećera, smanjenje kiselosti, pojava povreda. Ja sam ovde stavio papriku, znam ja da vi radite krompir, luk, mrkvu, pešun, paštrnak, celet, sveklu, uglavnom to korenasto povrće, ali mi kratkoročno moramo da čuvamo i neke druge povrtarske vrste i kod tih velikog broja povrtarskih vrsta mora da se obezbedi predhlađenje. A da prilikom tog predhlađenja, kada skidamo temperaturu prilikom vađenja sa 28, 29, 30, 32, treba da je spustimo, vidjet ćete nešto kasnije, na 4 do 8 ili 10, kod nekih čak na 0. Zato je to postepeno predhlađenje izuzetno važno. Zatim nam je neophodna oprema, kvalitetna za čišćenje, pranje, a da prilikom toga ne dolazi do oštećenja ili povreda na bilo kom vegetativnom ili generativnom organu koji će se koristiti u ishrani. Poželjno je, rekao sam ja i prethodno, da bude očišćeno, da ne unosimo u skladište zemlju, delove ljuske, delove lista, stabla ili nekih drugih nepoželjnih materijala, zatim čak da se uradi kvalitetno sortiranje, zatim kontrola kvaliteta i naravno tek nakon toga se pristupa pakovanju, bilo pojedinačni povrtarskih vrsta ili čak u smešama nekoliko različitih povrtarskih vrsta. Suština je da je neophodno obezbediti i različite materijale za pakovanje i ono obično može biti drvo, plastika i karton. Čak drvo, ako ih koristite, mora biti sertifikovano. Ne samo zbog domaćeg tržišta, nego i zbog izvoza, da nema crvotočine ili bilo kojih drugih materijala. Nepropustljivo je drvo, teško, povećana mikrobiološka aktivnost, teško održavanje, povrede proizvoda, zatim karton, lak, moguća promena oblika, propustljivo, ima svojih problema i reklo bi se da je najbolja plastika ako je obezbeđena reciklaža. I to je nešto takođe što bi kod nas trebalo raditi. Pakovanje se može izvesti na samom polju ili u specijalizovanom prostoru. Vrste pakovanja, dakle, mogu biti različiti, a primjena specijalnih folija u mnogome može ublažiti odavanje vode, odnosno na ovaj način je moguće obezbediti smanjenje kala, odnosno očuvanje svežine. Naravno, po standardima Evropske unije, znači po protokolu iz 2021. a cilj usvojenih standarda od strane Komisije Evropske unije se odnosi na definisanje minimalnih zahteva za kvalitetom svežeg povrća i krompira nakon berbe i tokom čuvanja i pripreme plodova za kalibriranje i pakovanje za domaće tržište ili za izvoz. Dakle, to je neki osnovni zadatak usvajanja različitih standarda. E sad, da bi mi mogli čuvati to povrće, mi na raspolaganju uspešno čuvati i svesti neke gubitke na minimum, mi na raspolaganju imamo mogućnost kontrole temperature, relativne vlažnosti vazduha, faze zrelosti, oštećenja u berbi i transportu do skladišta da svedemo na minimum. Zašto? Jer je povrće živ materijal. Ovde je mogao biti i luk, mogao biti i krompir, mogla je biti i mrkva, pešo, paštrnak, celer, nije bitno ko. Kod svih od glukoze uz prisustvo kiseonika dolazi do izdvajanja 6 atoma ugljen dioksida, izdvajanja 6 molekula vode i dolazi do izdvajanja energije, odnosno do zagrevanja tog svežeg povrća. I zbog toga ti gubici mogu da budu, rekoh ja, čak i preko 50% i oni se različito manifestuju na najrazličitije načine, menja se izgled, ukus, mnoge povrtarske vrste luče etilen, neke su poželjna ta pojava, nekima nije, ali je suština da se smanji ovaj kalo, odnosno gubici, i ta temperatura utiče na aktivnost enzima, to je ono što mi ne vidimo s polja, zatim utiče na disanje u zavisnosti od nivoa temperature, utiče na relativnu vlažnost vazduha. Vi ne morate znati ništa iz fizike i termodinamike. Za vas će to kompanija sve odraditi, ali će vaš agronom ili stručnjak morati kontrolisati i biti prisutan, a da bi kontrolisao temperaturu i relativnu vlažnost vazduha, koja će ovde to biti automatski kontrolisana, a kako bi disanje sveli na minimum. To bi bilo otprilike vezano za kontrolu ovih uslova. Brzina disanja zavisi od koncentracije ugljen-dioksida, odnosno od koncentracije kiseonika. Anaerobno disanje proizvodi veliku količinu ugljen-dioksida. Visoka koncentracija ugljen-dioksida inhibira ili nema efekata na disanje, ili čak obrnuto može da stimuliše. I ovaj pokazatelj se koristi uglavnom kod ulohladnjača u voćarstvu, dok mi u povrtarstvu ulohladnjače ne moramo da kontrolišemo. Kod kontrole temperature i relativne vlažnosti vazduha, u zavisnosti od prethodno ušle sirovine, kvaliteta iste i čuvanja, će zavisiti da li ćemo mi nešto moći čuvati 1 nedelju, znači zavisi od povrtarske vrste, pa čak i od genotipa, odnosno sorte, ali zatim i od biljne vrste, da li ćemo nešto moći čuvati 1 nedelju, 3, 4 ili 40 nedelja u budućnosti. Ja sam ovde povadio uglavnom za boraniju, kupus, mrkvu, celer, cveklu, crni luk, krompir, kelj, pupčar, pešun, pečurke, grašak, koje su to temperature skladištenja, odnosno čuvanja, zatim lubenicu, dinju, jagodu, karfiol, paradajz, salatu, papriku, plavi patliđan, krastavac, tikve, kukuruz, šećerac, jer vi svi ovde bar neku od ovih vrsta proizvodite, koliko ja vas poznajem, a većina od vas gotovo 2/3 nabrojanih. Znači, važno je obezbediti ove temperature koje sam naveo i ovu relativnu vlažnost koja mora biti na minimum 90, 92, 95, 98, ako je moguće i 100%, izuzetak je crni luk, kod koga ta relativna vlažnost vazduha ne bi smela biti veća od 60-65%, kako bi ga mogli kvalitetno čuvati. Ali isto tako vam je važno da obezbedite i da kvalitetno isprojektujete, ne znam ko od vas projektuje, adekvatan skladišni prostor, u zavisni od toga da li će se čuvati u rifuzi, da li će se čuvati u boks paletama ili će se čuvati u necenim vrećama. Pa evo ovde je jedan primer, to zavisi naravno od povrtarske vrste do povrtarske vrste, odnosno od sadržaja suve materije, što je veći sadržaj suve materije, veća specifična težina i obrnuto, ovde je dat primer za krompir, recimo za prinos od 60 tona, visinu neke gomile u rasutnom stanju, od 3,5 metra treba 26,4 metara kvadratni puta vaša količina koju vi imate, ili ako je u boks paletama, recimo za prinos od 60 tona puta 100 hektara puta prinos, vama će za gomilu od visine 4 metra, odnosno boks palete visine 4 ili 5,5 metara trebati 23 metra kvadratna, dok za neke necane vreće vam treba čak 40 metara kvadratnih skladišnog prostora, puta znači sve ono što vi želite ili što imate na raspolaganju. Specijalno...
Prevodilac moli samo povremeno malo pauzu, da malo usporite da stigne, ili jako puno, što kaže, iznosite činjenice, pa...
Ja se izvinjavam prevodiocu, znate zašto? Jako je važno se uklopiti u 30 minuta. A nije lako nešto što se priča 45 časova sad u tezama ne izneti. A već mi je isteklo 25, zato ja malo brže pričam, pa prevodilac ne može da vam prenese. Dobro, znači ja sam govorio ovde primer kod krompira, semenski krompir 3-4 stepena, krompir za preradu u čips, krompir za preradu u pomfri 6 do 8, krompir za stočnu hranu 5 do 7, optimalna vlažnost 92 do 95, recimo prošla godina bila izuzetno suša, bez obzira što je u vreme vađenja navodnjavano zbog vrutvi, došlo do oštećenja udaraca, ušlo u skladište i sad gubici krompira mesto 7, 8, 12%, 30%. Zamislite vi na 240.000 tona 30% gubitak. Pa to su ogromni gubitki, zato je jako važno prethodno sve uraditi. Naravno, ima tu i problema vezano za krompir, pošto je uklonjen hlorprofam, mi sad moramo da pređemo na neke druge preparate i cena istih je ekstremno visoka. 12 na našem tržištu, ne znam u zemljama Evropske unije, 12 do 5, pošto ja ništa ne prodajem i ništa ne kupujem, nek znam samo koliko plati proizvođač, i to veliki proizvođači. 10, 12, 15 eura po toni, a možeš da koristiš 3-4 puta, dok smo koristili propad, mi ti problema nismo imali. Tako da ćemo u budućnosti morati koristiti neke druge preparate. Suština je ovo skladištenje crvenog luka, koliki gubici mogu biti, 25-28%. Pogledajte, ovo 1. septembra na boks paleti je bilo 30 tona u neadekvatnim uslovima. 1. novembra, 2 meseca kasnije, 12 tona manje puta, koliko? 30 euro centi, koliko je veleprodajna cena? 12 tona puta 30 je koliko? 1000 eura. 1. marta je na toj paleti u neuslovnom skladištu šupi obično je ostalo svega 7 tona, a nestalo 23 puta 30 centi puta neka količina. Znači, to je ono zbog čega mi moramo u idealnim uslovima pristupiti ovom poslu i obezbediti kvalitetnu kontrolu svih mikroklimatskih uslova, ali isto tako obezbediti kod različitih povrtarskih vrsta različite metode hlađenja, počev od prekrivanja ledom, hidrohlađenja, vakuum hlađenja, hlađenja hladnim vazduhom, hlađenja u skladišnom prostoru i tako dalje redom. Ja sad već nemam, pošto mi ističe vreme, ostalo mi još 2 minuta, ističe vreme, pa ćemo to, ako mi daju, možda u diskusiji nešto kažem o svim tim detaljima. naravno, dobro, lepo upakovano, kvalitetno sačuvano, se transportuje masovno, avionskim pošiljkama, u sve kontrolisane uslove, najskuplje je ovim kamionima, pa i brodskim pošiljkama. Recimo, u Holandiji Grineri dnevno upakuje jednu hladnjaču od 4000 tona brodsku pošiljku za Veliku Britaniju. Dnevno. Pa i mi imamo Dunav. Zašto ne bi mogli to uraditi? Znači, železnica, ali i prilikom transporta je neophodno obezbediti idealne mikroklimatske uslove kako bi to povrće prilikom transporta i na male i na velike udaljenosti došlo ekstra kvaliteta. Pa sad da vam ne čitam koja to treba za artičoku, šparglu, boraniju, cveklu, brokolu, kel, pupčar, kupus, mrkvu, karfiol, cele, radič, krastavac, plavi, patliđan. Znači, koja je to temperatura, koja je temperatura mršnjenja, kakva ventilacija treba da se obezbedi, koja je relativna vlažnost vazduha i kolika dužina tog transporta može da bude. Pa dalje, beli luk, prazi luk, salata, tikva, crni luk, grašak, paprika, krompir, bundevara, barbara, crni luk, salata, paradajz. I, naravno, lepa pakovanja, posle distribucije. Faktori koji utiču na plasman povrća je cena koštanja, a cena skladištenja otprilike može da učestvuje od 30 pa čak do preko 50% u nekoj ukupnoj ceni. Ako je naša cena proizvodnja 8, 9, 10 eurocenti, kod nekih vrsta čak i 11 eurocenti, i ako nam je skladištenje još minimum 10 eurocenti, 21 eurocenta puta 118,7 dinara, je to onda primamljivo za kupca, odnosno ne kupca mene kao lično, nego lance megamarketa koji se ucenjivački odnose prema vama. Stepen razvijenosti proizvodnje, razvijenost prerađivačke industrije, navike potrošača, pakovanje, sortiment, izuzetno važan, pogotovo za kooperative ili zadruge, kad god je to moguće, jer zašto? Suština je imati 1700 proizvođača od 1 ili 2 hektara, puta neki prosječan prinos od 40-50 tona. Ne mora to biti 1 na 150 ili 200 ili 300 hektara puta 50 tona, pa da mora sam da podiže hladnjaču. Kvalitet proizvoda, skladištenje, mogućnost izvoza i marketing, nešto na čemu treba u budućnosti raditi, a kako bi taj gotov proizvod došao do kupca u skladu sa standardima, kod nekih ACCP, kod nekih Global Gap, nekad je bio Eurorep Gap dok nije ušla Australija, Global Gap, suština je da potrošač bude siguran da je dobio u svako vreme. Znači, i u maju, i u junu, i julu, i septembru, ali januaru, februaru, martu, aprilu i maju naredne godine vrhunski kvalitet gotovog proizvoda. Mislim da mi je prošlo 25 sekundi više nego što sam bio zamoljen da ovo održim. Pošto će biti diskusije, ja mogu onda da pričam malo duže. Tu mi ne može niko sporiti. Vama veliko hvala na pažnji, postakao sam vas možda na razmišljanje, pogotovo na pitanja. Iskoristite prisustvo stručnjaka i sve probleme koje imate u skladištu svom, odmah pitajte da vam se reši. I naravno pitajte i za podizanje novih. Još jednom veliko vam hvala na pažnji i ako bude pitanja za mene, ja ću odgovoriti. Živjeli. Da, sad sam minut i po uzeo, više.
Što bi rekao profesor, dobar dan. Kao prvo da se Sve vas lijepo pozdravljam. Ja sam krivac što smo se danas našli tu i nisam planirao govoriti, međutim došlo je do nekih neželjenih miniranja ovoga skupa, pa sam odlučio da kažem par riječi i predstavim gospodina koji će vam održati predavanje. Ideja je krenula prije 3 ili 4 mjeseca sa gospodinom Petkovićem da bi se trebalo nešto slično organizovati u Srbiji, a potaknut time problemima koji su doživjeli proizvođači u Hrvatskoj sa skladištenjem, sa improvizacijom skladištenja krumpira i luka, što se možete svi uvjeriti, prihvatio sam inicijativu baš zbog toga da ne bi došlo do te greške kod proizvođača u Srbiji, odnosno u Vojvodini i šire. Nisam planirao govoriti, zato sam si morao nešto malo pribilježiti, a da ne oduzimam puno vremena. Prvo da predstavim se firmu i sebe. Ja sam Božidar Rijekić, firma je Zagro d.o.o. koja zastupa nekoliko svjetskih kompanija na području ex-Jugoslavije. Puno njih u Hrvatskoj, Bosni, a većim dijelom i u Srbiji. Počeli smo se baviti prvenstveno prije 30 godina sa prodajom poljoprivredne ambalaže, kad smo zaključili da proizvođači moraju i plasirati svoju robu, a ne samo kupovati repromaterijale. Počeli smo se baviti otkupom i distribucijom poljoprivrednih proizvoda. Kada smo 2010. vidjeli da je konfekcioniranje najveći problem prodaje robe na ovim područjima, da kupujemo, uglavnom prodajemo robu do nove godine, a ostalo kupujemo u Holandiji, Austriji i Njemačkoj, zato što nismo bili spremni konfekcionirati, odnosno pakovati robu. Odlučili smo da pronađemo kompanije koje se bave proizvodnjom mašina za doradu i pakiranje robe kako bi se lakše i po boljoj cijeni distribuirala. Tako smo pronašli u Poljskoj firmu d.o.o. koja proizvodi mašine za pakovanje krompira, luka, mrkve, svih poljoprivrednih proizvoda, ali za proizvođače reda veličine do 1000-2000 tona. Sada su i oni prevazišli to, pa proizvode mašine i za puno veće proizvođače. Počeli smo prodajom prvo bitno u Hrvatskoj i pokazalo se jako uspješno, jer su bili proizvođači prepušteni sami sebi. Belica, odakle je firma Mala Subotica, je do Austrije 120 km. Nisu mogli svoje proizvode prodati, ali su onda počeli pakirati svoje proizvode i voziti na tržište. Najbliži je Zagreb i okolni gradovi. 2015. godine smo odlučili da to isto predstavimo u Srbiji i prezentovali smo svoje te mašine proizvode na Novosadskom sajmu i dobili smo kupce, potencijalne klijente i u Srbiji. Prva je otišla na Ivanjicu, Kušiće, pa zatim Bačko Gradište, pa Topola, pa Čačak, pa Gornji Milanovci, sad ih ima 50, koji su reda veličine cijene koje je prihvatljivo svakom poljoprivrednom proizvođaču, a jedan kamion krompira, tako da bude jasnije, spakira za 8 sati, dok je prije mu trebalo 18 ili 20 sati. Bazirali smo se znači na manje proizvođače. Veliki proizvođači u Srbiji su se već nalazili preko velikih sistema za pakovanje i preko raznih posrednika koji su veliki profit vidjeli u tom dijelu. Kada je došlo i učestvovali smo 4 godine na Novosadskom sajmu, dobili smo klijente preko Novosadskog sajma i u Bosni, tako da imamo u Lijevče Polju, takozvano, vi znate, Gradiška, Banja Luka i to preko 15 svojih linija. Oni su izuzetno zadovoljni, a mi još više. Pokušali smo dati firmi iz Srbije, znaće većina o kojoj firmi se radi, da oni te mašine prodavaju u Srbiji i dali smo im kontakt i išli su u tvornicu mašina na 2-3 mjesta. Međutim, oni su insistirali da slobodno formiranje cijena, što ja nisam dozvolio, jer sam već imao ekskluzivni ugovor za ex-Jugoslaviju. Cijene koje sam ja formirao su bile transparentne, identične za sve male proizvođače. S obzirom da smo mi prodavali ambalažu, mi smo svoj interes vidjeli da će svaki proizvođač koji kupi pakenicu trebati i ambalažu, tako. I onda je to, s obzirom da nisam pristao da se, recimo, linija za pakovanje koja košta 25.000 eura prodaje pod 50.000 eura. Tako je prodavano na kraju od konkurentske kuće koja prodaje isto to. I to je propalo. Sad je došlo do problema skladištenja. Kada je zabranjeno sredstvo za skladištenje protiv klijanja, onda je veliki problem nastao za proizvođače. Profesor je to jako lijepo objasnio, da je nemoguće skladištiti krompir, luk, mrkvu, celer, ciklu bez kvalitetnog skladištenja. U Hrvatskoj je to napravljeno subvencijama evropskih, kao što se i ovdje planira, IPARD-ima i ostalim subvencijama, ali na neku brzinu gdje su napravili skladišta sa polusistemima. Skladište za hlađenjem, ventilacijom, ali bez ovlaživanja, što je profesor jako dobro objasnio, da bez vlažnosti ne postoji kvalitetno čuvanje. Krompir je 90 i nešto procenata vode, on će uzeti iz vazduha vodu. I da kažem sad ono zbog čega smo se sastali tu. Znači, Omnivent koji će predstaviti svoj sistem za skladištenje robe je svjetski lider opremanja skladišta za čuvanje. Sve njegove reference možete pogledati na njihovom sajtu, možete pitati. Najbliže, ja sam planirao čak organizovati sa gospodinom Petkovićem izlet proizvođača, kako vreme, u startu smo razgovarali, do Debrecena, svega da imaju svoje postavljena svoje sisteme za čuvanje, do 2-3 hiljade tona luka, krompira i tako dalje. Međutim, to je u ovim uvjetima danas nemoguće, što ne znači da se ne može, on će vam predstaviti sve reference gdje se nalaze njegovi sistemi, da se može vidjeti u praksi kako funkcionira i čuti od proizvođača kakva iskustva ima. Normalno treba čuti i iskustva od konkurencije. Ne? I na kraju, kada su pravljeni ti projekti u Hrvatskoj, nosioci projekta su bili jedna firma koja je imala podizvođače, električare, sisteme za raslađivanje i tako dalje. Došao sam na ideju, pošto Omnivent radi samo sisteme za ventilaciju i čuvanje i skladištenje robe, da bi trebalo pozvati nekoga ko se bavi projektovanjem i izgradnjom skladišta, samih skladišta. I došao sam na ideju, s obzirom da imaju svoje poduzeće u Hrvatskoj, na MASTER FRIGO gospodina Radoje Cvjetića sam pozvao da li bi bio voljan da kaže da se predstavi kao firma i u slučaju projekata da bude nosioc ili dogovoru ili šta ja znam. Naravno, najveći interes je ako neko ima postojeće skladište, dobije projekat za svoje postojeće skladište, kaže se šta treba doraditi i ugradi se sistem. Ali dosta njih ili većina skoro će ići na izgradnju novih skladišta. Tako da je tu gospodin Cvjetić koji će posle Omniventa predstaviti firmu MASTER FRIGO i dati vama informacije kako doći do ponude, do projekta i tako dalje. To bi bilo ukratko što se tiče, što sam sad rekao, a nisam bio planirao, pa vas molim sve, većina se znamo, da bilo koje pitanje po pitanju skladištenja, pakovanja, mašina i tako dalje, slobodno postavite, pitate. Puno informacija imamo, vi ne trebate ništa izmisliti ili dodati ili oduzeti, vi trebate prepisati kako je putovala kroz to vrijeme Austrija, Slovenija, Hrvatska. Znači, i ne ponoviti i ne praviti njihove greške. A sve informacije koje ja imam nevezano za skladištenje i to bilo koje grane, slobodno postavite, pošaljete mail, pitate, dobit ćete pravu informaciju. Isto kao što sam svima kupcima iz Bugarske, iz Makedonije, iz Rumunjske dao informaciju gdje će se kome obratiti za kupnju poljoprivrednih proizvoda u Srbiji. Nisam kupovao i prodavao i to znaju da su hiljade i hiljade tona na taj način robe izvezeno u Sofiju, Plovdiv, Vukurešt i tako dalje. Ja sam poslao ljude da bi pomogli, a ti isti ljudi su kupili od mene mašine, kupuju možda ambalažu i tako dalje. Evo, ja se nadam da nisam bio predug, nadam se da sam bio jasan, pa molim posle u diskusiji ili posle kad se sretnemo na nekom zakusci koji sam planirao, možete pitati sve. Hvala puno. Pozivam gospodina Kamila, on je menadžer od firme Omnivent, koji će vam sada detaljno predstaviti svoj sistem za stavljanje.
If anyone needs. Yes, hello, my name is Kamil Maniak, I represent Omnivent group. I come from Poland, I'm a Chief Operational Officer of Omnivent Poland and a proxy of that company. I'm very honored to be here, really, so thank you for inviting me here. Thank you our partner Zagro for organizing this, thank you Chamber of Commerce for having us here. Yes, and thank you all for coming. Until now, I was the only one who was listening to the translation, and I know that the batteries sometimes go down. So if you may have a few ready, just in case, if any of the machines will turn off, just exchange them with this lady in red. And you will be, let's say, good to go. Yeah, I will try to speak slowly, but if any of you would feel that the translation is not catching up, let me know. I will even slow down. Yes, and if I would like this not to be a presentation, I would like this to be a dialogue. So if any of you would feel that he's wanting to make a question, just feel free, yes? Just disturb me, ask the question, and we will go on, yes? We are here, well, it says potato storage, because it's our specialty, yes? We as Omnivent are a worldwide active company when it comes to the potato storage especially. But not only. I will tell you about the others during the presentation, let's say. But this is our specialty. We cooperate with the biggest companies in the world, like Frito-Lay, PepsiCo. Well, that's the same, but the different words. Farm Frites, McCain, Lawrence Balzan, etc., etc. Also the breeders like HZPC, Agrico, Europlant, and others. Yes. So we are active worldwide. We are active everywhere. And I know that there are our storages also in this region, in Serbia, in Croatia, in Bosnia, and others. But until now, we were like, let's say, one step back. Yes, we were represented by local dealers in person. We want to be more active because we see that the biggest added value is when the client has contact with us directly. Yes, and we are the specialists when it comes to the storing, and in many cases, dealers, with all the respect, doesn't have that knowledge, yes, doesn't have that experience. So we would like to be closer to the final client, and that's why we are here. That's why I came, and that's why I want to be in contact with you. So, of course, we will cooperate and go through Zagro in this case, but I would like us to be in contact with you directly. Yes? Let me tell just a few words about Omnivent and maybe a bit about myself also. I am working for Omnivent for 11 years now, constantly. But before that 11 years, since I was 18, I was a temporary worker of Omnivent. Every summer break I was working there as a carpenter. I was building boxes, I was building systems, I was later designing them. And 11 years ago, I was hired to be a salesman. So I was trained to how it works, how to design it, and how to contact with the client. And then 7 years ago, I became Chief Commercial Officer, and 4 years ago, I became Chief Operational Officer of Omnivent Poland. Yes, so I really do know how it's done, how it's designed, how it should work, and how it works. So I'm, let's say, doing my best to be the man of the word and to really stand behind the best product we can give. Omnivent is a group, yes, and it's a group of few companies. There are three major companies. One, the one which was established the longest time ago, it was in 1960s. It is Omnivent Techniek in Zeewolde, in Holland. Yes, so our origin is from Holland. Well, you know that Holland is the most developed country in the world when it comes to the food agribusiness and also when it comes to the storage. Most of the worldwide players come from Holland, and we also. Here in Omnivent Zeewolde, there is about 60 people, 50, 60 people employed. Then we have also Omnivent Hedel, that's Omnivent Cooling. This is a company bought to the group around 10 years ago. Earlier it was called MB Cool Techniek. They were specialists in soft fruit cooling business. Yes, shock cooling, soft fruit cooling. And since then, they are our colleagues, also worldwide active when it comes to the cooling, especially soft fruits. So Omnivent is not only Krumpira, Wok, but also soft fruits. And the place where I'm active is Omnivent Poland. Omnivent Poland was established 27 years ago, so we have also quite a long history. And we employ over 100 people. So Omnivent Poland is the biggest part when it comes to the people force, let's say, to the Omnivent group. Yes, and well, we developed very much recently, yes, in recent years. And that's why I'm here. Omnivent Poland is the company in the group responsible for this part of the world. Yes, so let's say when we look at the map of Europe and we have the western border of Poland, everything let's say right on the map from there is my responsibility. Yes, and that's why That's why we are here. That's why we started cooperation almost 2 years ago with Zagro, which is for now going very, very good. And well, that's it. And we as Omnivent, well, you can say that we are one of the many. Yes, that there are many companies like ours. But in fact, there is something which makes us very different. Because we are the only company that, without any subcontractor, can give you everything you need in storage. Yes, the building itself we do not build. That's why MASTER FRIGO is here. Yes, to show their offer when it comes to the building of the shed. But everything inside you can have from us without subcontractors. Yes, so we are the only company. Especially, I hope the translator will hear me. Yes, also now. We are the only company which has the full scope of delivery. Yes, and that's very important for you because then, well, we call it one-stop shop. You can have one person and one company responsible for the whole success of the storage. Yes. Because sometimes when you have few subcontractors, one for ventilation, one for building, one for cooling, one for boxes, etc. And if something goes wrong, they always can say, no, it's not my fault, it's his or it's his. Yes? We are the only company who can take the full responsibility for it. From the design, yes, I will show you later on how are we active here. But this design stage is in fact the most important. And I will tell you, I will try to tell you how to do that and what's important in that stage. But and by design, I mean not only the new buildings, because still in our business, very important part is adaptation of existing buildings. Yes, because that's a huge part of the investment, and in many cases the building can be adapted in a fantastic way. I will try to show you a few nice projects which we adapted already existing buildings, 20, 30, 40 years old. Yes, how to do that, and I think, and especially at adapting existing buildings, we as Omnivent have the best reference in the world. Yes, because building new, it's easier. But building something from already existing, that's a tougher job, I would say. Then the ventilation walls. Among every single competition, I will not name them, but we are the only company which produces our own pressure walls. Yes? Every single company in the world will need a subcontractor. We don't. Yes? It doesn't mean that we demand from the client that we have to build it. If for example, we also work this way, that if you have a good carpenter or builder on site and you want to save some money, we can sell you, for example, only the design of the pressure wall, and then you will be able to build it yourself. But if you want a one-stop shop, if you want to get rid of the headache, then we are there to help. Yeah? Control equipment is also absolutely our product. Yes, the hardware, the software, the design, the know-how, it's all ours. Yes, we don't use any PLC controllers like Siemens or whatever. Yes, the hardware is also ours, and that gives us also opportunity not to have any limits. Everything we need, as if we see a demand on the market that there is something new to be implemented, we just go for it. And for example, every client has very specific needs. If you want something which is not in our offer as a standard, well, we can develop it. Yes. So also when it comes to the software, so that's also, I think, a huge added value. Condensed drying. Well, it's a condensed drying. It's especially well, it's a let's say stage 2 of cooling. You know that during cooling there is condensation. Yes, it's natural natural thing. There is frost on the evaporators or water condensing on it, and that's why we take the water from the air. Sometimes it's very bad to do that. Yes, like with Krumpira. We should preserve as much water as possible, so we should dehydrate it as less as possible. But for wok, for onions, we should do that, yes? And it's possible to do that in a very efficient way with condensed drying. I hope I will have time later to tell you about the details of it. Heating, well, it's obvious, yes? Heating is not drying the air, yes? You have to keep that in mind, that when you burn gas or when you burn diesel, part of it is water. So in fact, what you do with heaters, you add water to the air, and you have to keep that in mind. But what you are doing is you are significantly increasing, let's say, the space in the air, so the air can take much more moisture. I will also try to explain that later, how it's done. Cooling, well, it seems an easy job, but Božidar was saying about mistakes that were made in Croatia, for example, recently. Yes, doing a good cooling installation needs to be to the local circumstances. Yes, most of our global competition also comes from the, let's say, northern part of Europe. Yes, it's different. And we cannot assume exactly the same starting points for north of Holland, for example, as to Serbia. It has to be related with the local circumstances. Yes. So without that, we will not be able to make an efficient cooling system. So I will also try to focus on it later on. How to do that. Humidification. It was said by the professor. It was said by Božidar. It is true. Yes, especially when it comes to the carrots, potatoes, red beets, things like that. In fact, everything besides onion or garlic or shallots. The humidity can have to be as much as possible. I know that all the books say 92, 95. I say as much as possible, as close to 100, but without condensation. And that's the key, yes? Because the condensation, the water dripping on the product, it kills it, yes? So if we will be able to build a very good building without cold bridges, there will be no dripping, there will be no condensation, and we can have 100% humidity, that's where we should go, yes? And the boxes, among every single competition that we have, we are also the only one who produces boxes. We are not the biggest producer of boxes in the world. There are bigger than us, but we are the only one who does it. And it's sometimes important, especially with the best system I know, suction system, but I will tell you that later. So I wanted to show you that simple graphic to show you that we as Omnivent can be a one-stop shop. Everything you need beside the building, you can have with us. Yes, but let's go further. I will tell you in a few words the basic working principles of few systems. Yes, of room ventilation system, suction system, blowing system, bulk, letterbox. But I will do that not as a presentation. I would like you to show what I have. I would like you to show how do I work. Yes, and I hope it's okay to use these microphones. It will be easier for me. Do you hear? Okay. We will start from I think room ventilation system, because maybe a short question. How many of you are growers here? How many of you grow vegetables? Please raise your hand. Yes? How many of you grow potatoes? Okay. So, if I'm right here, that every farmer which is here is growing potatoes. Yes? Okay. So that should be our #1 priority. Yes? with this seminar. Who grows wood? Also, so okay, also quite a lot of people. Okay, what other crops do you grow in a bigger volume? Tell me, please. What other vegetables do you grow? What that's it? Potatoes and onions? Yes. Somebody carrots also. Okay. And the potatoes, especially, what kind of them is it? Is it table potato or chips or French fries? What potato is it?
Most of the people here, they have chips. They have table potatoes. I'm the only one who uses the chips potatoes now.
Okay.
As I can see.
Okay. That's everywhere you go on the world, you know each other. Yes, and that's really fantastic when it comes to the farmers and potato growers. I thought so that it will be like this because it's everywhere I go. Yes, you all know each other, so that's really good. You said you grow chips potatoes. It's for Frito-Lay or other brands? It's for Frito-Lay, PepsiCo.
No, it's for Chips Way factory.
Okay. So some other than.
Another chips factory in Serbia.
Okay, clear. But the variety is, let's say, important, yes, because you store differently potatoes for chips, for table potatoes and seed potatoes, yes. And it was said. Well, I haven't understood exactly, but it was said, for example, about chloropropham. Surely you know that chloropropham was banned in the European Union, yes? And probably you are still able to use it, but I think also not. Okay, yes. And it was a huge change, yes, for the whole industry. Yes, the things like Bioxam, Argos, 1-4-Site replaced it, and it was a huge change. But why am I asking? Because if we will talk about room ventilation systems, and I will do that on 3D models. The main principle of how it works is that we take the air from the outside with, well, we call them room ventilation units, but they are called dragons, they are called chimneys, whatever, doesn't matter. There's an inlet hatch in the back of it, and outlet hatches on the top. And it's, sometimes it's unappreciated enough. For this system to work, the outlet hatches has to be on the back wall. It just have to be. If there is anyone who is telling you that the system will work if the hatches will be on any other wall, it is a lie. It will not work. I've seen storages with room ventilation units where the hatches were on a sidewall, for example. It will not work, never. And because is that this ventilation is also called gravitational sometimes. Yes, it works like this: that we blow the fresh air above the boxes. It has to go all the way and go back through the boxes. And also, in many cases, the clients do not appreciate the way how the boxes are stacked. Yes, and last time I've been in Croatia, we had many talks about this, and I think I've opened eyes to many people. Yes, that it is extremely important how the boxes are stacked in this kind of storage. Because have a look, most people think that it's most important for the air to go back between the boxes. Yes, but it's not. The most important part is for the air to go through the pallet openings. Yes, because I will draw you something. Yes, it's very simple, but many people have no idea about this. Yes, most of you, I know in Croatia, but probably in Serbia it's the same. Most of you have boxes 120, 160, correct? Yes, and if we want to ventilate a potato which is in the middle, yes? So it is the furthest one for us to ventilate, to cool down, to dry when it's needed, yes? We have a pallet. The pallet takes, for a simple calculation, let's say 10 centimeters. It's a bit more, but to make it easier. So it's 1.1 of Krumpira. So if we talk about this distance, it's 55 centimeters, yes? When we talk about this distance, it's 80, yes? So if we focus on airflow between the rows, it's 80 centimeters to reach the potato which is inside. We should focus on the ventilation which is on the pallet openings, because there, the air which will go through here and through the pallet which is above it, it will have the biggest influence on the equality of the temperature, of the humidity, of everything which is inside the box. Yes? So, I've seen in many cases that competitive offers where for example, is it familiar to you? Have you seen this kind of drawings? Yes, it's a layout of the boxes from top view. Yeah? And sometimes competition is showing it like this. That, dear customer, you will be able to load X amount of boxes. And you will be able to put them like this. Yeah? And it's a shot in the knee. Yes? Because what will happen here? The air will go on the sides. It will avoid the boxes, because it will not be able to entrance the pallet opening and even the rows, the spaces between the rows. You see? This is closed. You will not have ventilation there. So even if you have the best ventilation system, best cooling system, and you load the boxes like this because some Dutch guy told you that, yes, to load it like this, and you have wet potatoes, for example, you will lose them. They will rot, yes, because of the fact that you've put the boxes like this. Yeah? Of course, if you have a healthy potato, they are dry, you will put them in a storage like this, they can survive. But they can also survive on the field when you cover them, correct? They will. If they are healthy, if they are premium quality, it's really easy to preserve them. But the game starts where you have problems. Rotting, wet, skin set is not ready yet, yes? And then you have to mature it in the storage. And I will tell you few, let's say, show you also, for example, this is also, in my opinion, a common mistake. Yeah. To stack the boxes like this, yes, that you have ventilation unit, and the boxes are behind it. Yeah, I'm not saying that it doesn't work. It will work, but we can do it better, and it's all about the quality. It's all about running hours. Yes, because the system will take the air mainly from the rows in front of it. Yes, so we will also have temperature difference. You will also have humidity difference between the rows. And the bigger the cell is, the bigger your problems are. Yes, so that's not the perfect way to do that. A lot better way, of course, you lose 2 columns. Yes, you lose 2 columns. But a lot better way is to do it like this. But then, if you have gate here, you are able to load few columns of boxes like this. But please always remember to leave the space, because the air then it will drop there and will be able to go back through the pallet openings. Yes, and this way you can be almost sure that the ventilation will be good. How to do it better? Have a look. We have decreased the space between the rows. The common theory behind it is that it has to be 10% of the width of the box. Yes, if it's 160, it should be 16 centimeters. I say don't care, doesn't matter. I have clients who also put the boxes right next to each other. Right next to each other, yes? But I'm not a fan of it because of two main reasons. I will show you that on the next picture, I think. You see? This, for example. I have clients who have storage like this, it works. But when you put the boxes right next to each other, you save space. You use your space in storage maximum, yes? But you are not able to put a sensor on the box in the middle there. You don't know what's happening. You have no idea, yes? And of course, the risk of disease spreading in this box storage is very limited by the boxes. Yes. So, if you have some problems, for example, on the field there was electric pile. Yes, and with your sprayer, you always had to avoid it. Yes, or there was a downfall on the field, and the water was there for too long. You have rotten potatoes. If it will go to the storage, it is possible that some of the boxes will rot and they will float away. You know exactly what I mean. Yes, for every farmer who is growing potatoes, it happened. If not, it will happen. Yes, so the problem is that if you have boxes stacked like this, you are not able to take only one row. It's physically not possible. You have to get rid of at least 2 rows to get rid of one box. Yes, so this is not the perfect solution. The best solution, in my opinion, we can do is this. Have a look. It's a very, very simple thing, but between the rows, put something to cover the gap. And this is my, let's say, invention. You know, it's easy, it's simple like an axe, yes? But in fact, I haven't seen no one doing that earlier. And I've tried it with a few of my clients. It worked fantastic. Because how and why especially? If you have long rows, yes, and for example, your roof is almost always not flat. Yes, there is some construction, there is some pillars, there is something. Yes, the air is slowing down, or there is some variation of the airflow. Yes, and the air, if you have gaps between the rows, it will drop between the rows too fast and go down. So you have a short circuit. Yes, when you have a short circuit, you have to ventilate more to do the same job. If you ventilate more and if you use cooling for longer. You have more weight loss, you have more working hours, yes? So in this kind of system, we have to do everything possible to make every cubic meter of air doing their job, yes? And this way, have a look. The spaces between the boxes is covered, and we have this cover. This is not invented by me. This is known for decades already. But people don't do it because they don't see added value. But it makes a huge difference. Try it even now, if it's February, yes. And if you will store your potatoes for a month or 2 months still. Do it. Try to see the difference, and you will be amazed what difference does it make. Because, you know, I will tell you why does it work and how does it work. Look. Here we have the air blowing, yes? It doesn't matter if you have pipes or is it wooden or whatever it is, yes? There is an airflow. What is an airflow? The airflow is high pressure, yes? Because we force the air with the fan, yes? We create pressure, and the pressure, in fact, throws the air, yes? The difference in the pressure makes it run, yes? So here we have high pressure, and here we have low pressure. What happens in nature? The air is trying to find the closest way from high pressure to low pressure. Yes, it's natural. It's like water, it's like man, it's like any other substance. It's trying to find the easiest way. So, if you will stand here on this box, try it in your storages. Stay on this box. What you will feel is a huge backdraft. The air here will be going back. Yes? So what does it mean? That the air which you are blowing, you're losing money to move this air, is going short way. Yes? Is finding the short circuit. It's 5% of air. Maybe it's 10% of air, depending on the storage. But multiply that 5% times a year, times 15 years of working of your storage, and it's a huge money. Yes, not only for the electricity, but also for the dehydration, because every opening of the hatch dehydrates the potatoes. Every turn on of the cooling system dehydrates the potato. So we should do that as small as possible. Yes, the system should run with a huge power, but very, very, very short. Yes. And that's, in fact, the key, yes? We don't have the whole day to do it. It has to be fast and effective. Does anyone have any questions to that?
Koji je ovo sistem? Izvorni ili sistem uzimanja vazduha?
Huh? No, it's a room ventilation, yes? The sucking air, you know, every single system in some way is a sucking system, because the fan sucks the air and blows the air somewhere, yes? And this one is also sucking the air from the inside, so it's sucking the air from the boxes and throwing it above it, yes? So, well, in some way it is a suction system, but what we call it gravitational, room ventilation unit. And to show you something in practice, that's how it looks, yes? So you have rows of the boxes and a cover. The client still didn't do the cover yet here, but he did later. And also, is there something not known to you in this picture? Do you know why is it squared? Do you know? Another common mistake. And another very, very simple way to save your money. If you have a fan, yeah, and you have a pipe. Who of you has this kind of system? The fan with a pipe above the boxes. Any of you? No? So how do you store bulk?
Most of the storage is in Serbia, they are sucking system.
Okay. We will get to that, and we will. Okay, we will get to that also. But if we have a room ventilation like this, the fan is always creating a circular movement of the air. Yes, it's like a small tornado behind the fan here. Yes, it goes like this. And if the pipe, yes, is very short, if the pipe after the knee here is very short, in fact, all the air goes up. It goes straight up. Yes, and then you can see on the wall, on the roof, that it's covered with dust. You can easily see that after some time. Yes, that it's covered with dust. So if we will make this this pipe longer, or not only longer, but also we will change the shape of it, we blow the air with a a lot better direction. Yes, so we blow the air further and with a lot more equal stream. Okay, since you can see that here. You see? Okay, I will just show you. I will just show you. Okay. One interesting thing, just to show you how do we work. Yeah, I told you that the way we work is that we are helping you design, we are building the ventilation system, etc., etc. And I told you that we are not doing the buildings. But if you are planning a next investment, yes, in my opinion, what is the best scenario? The best scenario is that you will, let's say, start from the end. You choose the company which will deliver you ventilation and cooling before you choose the builder. Yes? Because then it can be, the design can be made exactly fitting to the equipment that we want to install there. And in many cases, that's how it's going. Yes, that I meet with the client and he's saying, hey, I want to build a storage for 6,000 tons. Yes, and then we are talking. Okay, what variety? What varieties? Yes, when do you harvest? What temperatures, etc., etc. And in most of the cases, to the offer, well, 90% of the offers, I attach a kind of drawing like this. Yes, and in fact, when the customer is agreeing, okay, I go with Omnivent, then this is what we are giving to the construction company and to the architect. And in fact, 90% of the job is done because, and that's what happened, for example, here. Yes, we agreed with the client how does it look like. Yes, what does he need? Also with you see the layout of the boxes, with everything I said. Yes, and with all the openings, with all the dimensions. Everything. Let's say the starting point. Of course, it's not architectural design, yes, but for a starting point, that's everything the architect needs. Yes, it was, let's say, job done. You see, so it makes a life of us all a lot easier. Okay, since almost none of you has this kind of system, I think I will go further. Or do you have any questions to the room ventilation unit systems? Okay. I will go on then, and I will focus on suction system then. Does any of you store in bulk? Yes? Okay. Let's go for suction system there then. I will show you also other drawings, but this is a drawing which I use to explain how does the system works. Because it is very important for everyone to understand how it works first. Yes, because sometimes the clients, even which they have this kind of system, doesn't know exactly how it works, and it will never be successful if he doesn't know the principles, let's say. It works like this, that we have a pressure wall, where beneath the fans, we are sucking the air from there, yes? So we are creating under pressure in this part of the pressure wall. And this part is connected with vertical openings, yes? And so the air is sucked through those vertical openings. Then, on two sides of the suction opening, we set up rows of boxes, yes? And so the row between the boxes is a part of the ventilation system. You have to be aware of that, yes? It is, in fact, a duct, yes, where we suck the air from. And then we cover it with a suction cover, yes? It's a very simple thing, but really makes it work, makes a huge difference. Yes, so then the air, which is sucked from the space between the two rows of boxes, has to go went somewhere, yes, and it goes through the boxes, through the product. And here is also a small hint, yes. It is also a common mistake that for the suction system, clients use boxes where the boards are on the same level. Yes? Why is it a problem? And why is it something that we should avoid? Please look. Mm-hmm. 10 minutes. Now? Okay, there will be 10 minutes break after I will finish this model, okay? Have a look. If we will have if we will have boards on the same level, yes, like this, then between the boxes, do you see that? Between the boxes, there will be a gap. Yes, it's a small gap, 2 by 2, times more or less 6 on each box, on each side of the box, 12 on box, and times thousands in the storage. What does it? How does it influence your money? Here, the air is going a lot more than through the product because it's easier. Yes, the air will always go where it's easier. So you turn around the air without, in fact, ventilating the product. The biggest added value of suction ventilation system is that it's active. We say this is an active ventilation system. Is the fact that we ventilate through the product itself, not like in a room ventilation unit where we blow only the air around the box. Yes, here we move the air through the product, and it is the most important, especially in wok, in garlic, things like that. Yes, but also when it comes to the potatoes. Yes, because especially when you have long rows, it happens that the ventilation capacity, the ventilation success, let's say, decreases the longer the row is. Yes, one of the reasons is can be that you're losing pressure, and you can lose the pressure with this kind of things. Yes, so that's why. Do you recognize this kind of boxes? Your boxes are made like this. Yes, good. And now, have a look, because this is also something, let's say, we started as Omnivent. You see here, there are only 3 gaps. Yes? Probably none of you have 3 gaps only. Yes? Why is it? We do it like this because the very common problem is that when you load the box, you load it full, yes? You pick it up with the forklift, go a few meters, it drops. Yes? During the storage, it also drops. The longer you store, more it drops. And it happens that the first gap is shown. Yes? So it's not covered with potatoes. So what will happen then? The air will go through it, yes, mainly. So the air will avoid the product. And it will happen with more working hours, more dehydration, bigger costs of usage of the system, etc. Yes? So we've checked it and we've tried it in many places that 3 openings will be absolutely enough. And also it happens that the box is not loaded full, yes? Especially when you end the shift, when you end the field, or in any other cases, yes? Your loader is not perfect, for example, yes? It happens in many situations, yes? And with this kind of system, it is extremely important for the box to be full, yes? And because one not fully loaded box can influence your airflow in the whole storage. Of course, it's half of the percent, maybe less, yes? But multiplied by few boxes, it can cause the problem. Okay, short break. Thank you for now, and we will come back later.
kave ili sok ili vode,
Ček samo, tako, u ovaj cev ti duvaju, jel?
vidiš, meni se taj glavni otvor kad ulazi vazduh, ja nemam nikako sobu, a vazduh koji se spoja direktno.
Kroz ventilator.
Kroz ventilator udara ovamo u halu, dole, pa izlazi na donji izvor. Ovo je ulazni, a dole su dva izlazna, a ovo su klime jedinice. Ali ovo je 2003. godine bilo.
Nije problem, ja ću i pokut samo gde će ti ostavljaš li šta radiš to? Ovo je, da. Možeš to ostaviti ili moram da dođeš?
Možda naše se seo.
Ja sam nazvat istina koji si mislila, da? Sada imam naše u Novom Sadu, nije mi ni razboj niko ništa nije našao, tako da se razvao.
Što je bilo treba, to sam se...
Sad će da vidim da ima ili to tri megara velika. Ako zamolim da postave tu, pa ću ja doći sutra. Znači, gleda, dobro, sad znam. Ovo što je sada tamo lepo. Stevanje, sad javio se pred, nije mogu doći pred negdje pa nastavi. Znači, tu će. Važi, ja dođu. Važi, ja se javim. Sad ja ću pokričam ja.
500, nego ljudi ne mogu da zapamtim sve.
But it's also, the design is also okay. The most important thing is that it's on the same wall.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yes, they are on the same wall.
They are quite small when it comes to the cell.
This is 20 meters with 10 meters, and the height is 8 meters. I store 5 boxes, so I have enough space there. But all in all, at the time,
The cooling capacity is enough to drop the temperature like you want?
Too expensive for us to buy from Holland. But now it's working. We have plans to change the regulation. We have built obviously a trader and we have one person.
I'm a dealer of Poland.
And we have now our one of us made a few months ago.
You're going to visit?
Yes.
I've run out of this, so I want to exchange something. You accept it? Okay.
We are more focused and before we begin, we have production in Serbia, but we are in the west of Serbia. No, actually no. In Serbia, maybe 200 or 300 hectares of water. That 200 hectares around half.
And what varieties are these?
They are mainly like this. I know mainly
from what you mentioned, Colombo is the most known for me. From this variety, you said, but like you said, it's from fresh, because storing Colombo,
that's impossible.
it's not without the fantastic cooling system.
Really,
absolutely.
I produce 4 or 5 hectares of Colombo, and I almost forgot why. And I told them in January, hey, pick up the potatoes, and that's it. I don't like to store them more, because storing of Colombo, that's big science.
Well, you need to cool them down immediately.
Yes.
Yes, and leave very low temperature. It's like the most cold.
It's
vattarstvo, da to treba da bude tako. Nije bitno to, nije bitno mora da bude
Okay, but still, it's something that we would like to maybe get some server. Who's controlling this area? So we have some also we buy yeah, well, we decided to be more direct. We see that we just focus on many things. So everywhere. Sometimes we just focus on us. Well, for now, it's a long story. We want to be more direct.
Ovo vama je put, to nema, mislim, koji tu ima tržištu velika ljudska parcela, to nema uopšte tu vrednost.
We have some questions, some problems, don't get support, the machinery is not about
Može ovo da ispravi, što?
monitoring the other one, I'm very satisfied. I think it's certainly a big question about extra careful when you buy something new to have spare parts. When I go to this Denmark, I already I got some spare parts. Just in case to have it with me, because we never know when Spain is just not European Union, so the custom and everything, sometimes it should last for weeks.
Ako da donesem tih
then if I have few of the boxes for maybe just with the rain in it or something, then I'm drying it. But in welding and the most of it, they need to lots of dry. It's very much on this just moist. It's moist. Sauce are quite good. That's what they are like still. I was amazed when I crossed the border in Croatia.
Nisam ja posebno izdavao, nego onaj što to koristi, on to koristi. Šta si mislio? A vidi, pa mogu da pitam ovo. Sada duže. Ne znam, ja mene sutra može padne na pamet, razumiješ? Da, tako je. Može mi padne nešto da shvataš. Važi, evo da čujem, da vidim to sa njih. Ja mislim, ne koristim to ništa, onda je nešto da se... Nije mesečno, koristim se.
Zoran, I should start?
Yes,
Okay, welcome back. During the break, I talked with a few of you, and I think it will be good for the moment to go back to the room ventilation system, because yeah, as far as I heard from you, this system is not well known in this area, and I think, in fact, that product, that system, should be the most interesting for you. Why is it? Because it's a very good system when it comes to the price to the, let's say, capacity of the storage. Yes, in fact, it's the cheapest. And it's not the best solution for onions, for example. In fact, it's not a good choice, because there's no active ventilation. Yes, where with things like onions or garlic, we need to be able to really fast dry the product, etc. But with potatoes, especially table potatoes, this is the first system you should look at, because of one other reason. In a moment, I was saying about suction system, yes, and how the box is designed. We will get to that later also. But with suction system, the quality of the box is extremely important. That it has to be squared, and all the gaps has to be on the right places. Yes, the quality of the box is very, very important. So it means that the box is very expensive nowadays. Where, you know, I'm in this business for many years already, but it has never ever happened that wood prices doubled, and that's what's happening right now. Yes, so the boxes for the suction system, or the letterbox system, or the blowing system, which we will talk also, has to be the good quality. If it has to work in a correct way, it has to be good quality. With room ventilation system, it really doesn't have to be. The most important thing is that it has to be equal in dimensions, yes? So you will be able to stack them more or less in this layout, yes? So maybe I will be able to show you an example. Have a look. Here we have a box. It's a suction system, yes? So we create under pressure between two rows of the boxes, and our aim is to suck the air through the openings on the short side. Here the client also has the typical layout. But in most of the cases, when you bought the boxes, it went like this. That a truck came, there was a pallet, two long sides, and the loose planks, yes, loose boards. And there was a team coming and nailing the boards. Pach, 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 pach. And it was done by hand. It was done without a square. So it happens that there is no square angle here. What happens in the suction system then? Imagine, there is the pressure wall, yes, in that direction. So the forklift driver did a good job, because he put this box, then he put this box and pushed it to the box in front, and this box here you can see he pushed it, and here the next box he also pushed. But because of the fact that this box is not squared, we are losing a lot of pressure here and here. Yes. So like I said, the problem is there. Yes, and you will lose working hours, electricity, and so on and so on. With room ventilation system, it's not a problem, because the air will pass through the pallet openings. If it will run between the rows or whatever, it doesn't make a difference, in fact. Yes? As long as it will be able to reach the end of the row, drop, and come back, it's fine. Yes? So, in my opinion, for most of you, that can be the most interesting system. So, because of none of you have it, and now I know that that there is a gentleman here who has a combination of it, I will tell you a bit more about this system, because maybe that can be the most interesting product for you. Because with the room ventilation unit, we have few, let's say, variations how it can be done. Because let me show you. For example, this is let's say the most standard way with short pipes. Yes, so it can be done better. With it was during the construction. It was later moved forward. Yes, but it can be done like this. This is a room ventilation system. During the presentation, I also showed you this. Yes, this is also a room ventilation system, but with cooling. This is a mobile cooling machine. We call it Omnifrigo. Yes, there are a few variations of it, and in fact, most of the competition has it. And in fact, most of the competition focuses on this kind of machines. It's a plug and play, it's a turnkey machine, yes, so it's very easy to export, to deliver to you, give you some pipes, hey, dear customer, that's a ready product. Put it in the wall, it will work, yes? But in many cases, it has to be adapted in some way, yes, or it has to be, let's say, modified a bit, yes. It's in most of the cases not a turnkey project, yes. And for example, I will show you, let's say, our variations of it. Yeah, maybe I will start from. This is an adaptation. This was an existing building of my client who grew. Yes, he started growing the potatoes, he liked the business, he was successful, he earned money, he wanted more, yes, more potatoes. This is a seed potato shed. Yeah? And the building he had was like this, yes, with not so high, with a roof like this. And here, till here in this place, there was space for only 4 boxes, yes? And we were thinking how to find a way to fill there more, yes? And what we did is we designed it in a way that he is able to stack 1 box more, but further, yes? And if we will put here a standard machine, what would happen? The whole airflow will be blowing in that box. So the airflow through the whole cell will be ruined. It would never work, yes? And if someone will deliver you a ready machine and you will put the boxes in a wrong way, yes, because you want to put there as much as possible, again, you shoot in the knee, yes? But if we know about your plans, if we are able to discuss with you, hey, dear customer, what are your needs? What are your possibilities? Hey, that's what I have. This is the building, yes? How to do it? We've done it in a way that we've extended the air throw, and we've used wood to do that. And thanks to that, the client was able to load 12% more. 12% more each year, yes? So in, let's say, 8-9 years, he has 1 load more, yes? So it makes a huge difference. And usually what I do also when I make the drawing, I put the forklift also. Not to make it fancy, but to give you the idea, will you be able to load it or not? Yes? Is there enough space to move, to twist, to turn or not? Yes? And that's the case here. And so it ended up with a real project. Yeah, and that's how it looks like. Yes, it's not a ready product. It was a design. We adapted it to an existing building, and we've took max of it. Yes, and so we have a happy client. Yeah, it was a wheat shed. Yes, so it has reinforced walls, but only metal on the top. So spray foam inside, and that's it. Spray foam, in fact, is the best insulation possible because it has no cold bridges. If it's done in a correct way, of course, yes, because if you have leakages, especially leakages between the metal sheets, and the water will go in, in a few years you will have a lot of leakages and cold cold breaks, yes. But I wanted to show you also here. This is also something which, as far as I know, none of the competition does. Have a look. Here we have a room ventilation unit, and here it is evaporator. Especially in existing buildings, like maybe you have on your farms, existing buildings, which you think maybe to use for storage. Putting an evaporator on the ground is a fantastic idea because you don't need a roof to be prepared for it, yes, or a wall or whatever, yes. We just put it on the floor and we can go. Additional value of this layout is the fact that you see the openings here. It's not only for maintenance, yes. When you load the storage, it happens that the potatoes are wet, or maybe the skin set is not mature enough yet. Yes, you need to work on it. Yes, we call drying and healing the first stage of the storaging, which is in fact the most important. And this way, well, then we don't cool. Yes, we just ventilate, we dry, we keep more or less 15 degrees Celsius to dry and heal the potatoes. If we open, we call it bypass. If you open this very simple flaps on hinges, you have a lot less static pressure for the fans to go through. Yes, because every pump, every fan, its capacity is related to the pressure that he has to force. Yes, and when we are sucking the air through the evaporator, the fan capacity is minimized. Yes, it's 50 Pascal, maybe it's 100 Pascal, but it is few percent. Yes, and during the drying period, if you will not dry your wet potatoes when they are really, really wet, like from time to time it happens, more in northern part, like in Poland, but here also, here you are able to squeeze the max out of your system. Yes, so to maximize the airflow and minimize the power consumption. Yes, so that's how it works. And also have a look at the shape of the evaporator. It's quite low and wide. It's also not a coincidence. I will show you one more thing. Have a look. This was a project we've done in 2006, only ventilation for the client. And during the years, he said, well, I need cooling, yes? And we were thinking of what to do, how to do it best. Should we put the evaporator somewhere here or something else? We decided that we will put it here. No changes in the building. The easiest way to do that, the most clean, let's say. And this is very eco-friendly because it's propane glycol. Yes, but I hope we will be able to get to that. And have a look. It's also very wide and low. So it sucks the air from every row. That's one thing. And the other thing is that the fact that it's low doesn't cause that the air is going mainly through the top of the evaporator. Yes, because that sometimes happens because, you know, fans are here. In a typical evaporator, like well, you can see everywhere. You have heat exchanger, the coil. Yes, it's the evaporator box or it's a cooling coil, depending on if it's a direct or indirect system. But nevertheless, this is the cold part, and the air is blowing through the cold part. The fan can be here or a fan can be here, depending on the model of the evaporator. But when you have it here or here, the whole evaporator is working, in principle. If you have a layout like this, that here's the evaporator and the fan is here, yes, like in most of the machines available on the market, yes, it happens that the most of the airflow goes from the top of the evaporator. So, in theory, the cooling machine should have, I don't know, 60 kilowatts of cooling power. And according to the calculations, it should be enough for your storage, but you have no power to cool it down. Why? Because probably, well, that can be one of the reasons. Of course, there can be a lot. But the airflow through the evaporator is not equal because of the fact how it's built. Yes? So it's a lot better to make it a lot less high, but wider. Then we are working on a full evaporator, yes, and we take the max out of it. What we also can do, here's a very interesting project we've done for tulip bulbs. Yes. You think, well, most of the people think that tulips are grown only in the Netherlands. It's not true. In Poland we have also quite a lot of growers of tulips. And this is a project we've done for one of them. And have a look. This is evaporator. Oh, yeah, it is evaporators. It's not coolers because it's a Freon system. But you can see that there's something behind it. And here, behind it, there is a small pressure wall, and in the roof there are hatches. You see? There are hatches here. So the evaporator fans when the temperature, when the conditions outside are okay, we open the hatches and we ventilate with the outside air, just like we have with the room ventilation unit. But here we save space and we save money because we are using the evaporator fans. Yes, we are saving the space because well, in most of the cases we can load one row more of the boxes because we don't need space for the column. Yes, for the unit. And it's also a very interesting solution to do it like this. And well, we use hatches, motors, etc. to make it run. But it's also a combination of what we do. And what we see here as a very interesting thing for you to consider is that, especially when you have suction systems. Yes, you said, most of you, that you have suction systems. The most problematic is the end of the row. Yes, that you have to twist the box and fill it with the foam blocks, for example, or whatever. If you will have in your storage walls like this, you are able to load the storage till absolute end. I will show you. Just a second. Oh, here's a video. You have enough of my voice, so I will mute it. You can see, here's a storage we made in UK, a huge one, and you see the boxes are loaded exactly till the end. Yes, so maximum space is used, and we have a huge wall, but we can move it with one hand. Yes, as you can see here, and this way we are able to use the space to the absolute maximum. Yes, so it's not a cheap thing to do during the investment. But further in the stage, you see also our boxes, George Thompson Farms 2014 in the UK, and the suction cover winding system, and we are able to load till absolute end. Yes, so that's also quite interesting. So. Because I know that we don't have much time, but in general, if your needs are to store table potatoes or seed, but that's far less in this region, you should consider the room ventilation system because it's probably the best solution for you. About the suction system, yes, we will come back to that. I hope you understand the difference in the design of the box now. Yes, is it clear for everyone what added value does it give to the box when it comes to the layout of the boards? Yeah. Do you have any question? You raised the hand. I thought you have some question, but okay. But also, please be aware that. Do you have, for those of you who have those tarpaulins, you call them, I think, the suction covers, do you have the mechanism to wind them, roll them automatically, or you do it by hand? By hand, mainly, yes? You know, it is most common nowadays that we are selling automatic rollers, yes? Because, you know, It's heavy thing. It's high, so it's dangerous, in fact. So, in fact, most of the cells that we are doing right now has automatic suction covers winding system. Yes, and it is a great thing because you can roll on or roll off the suction covers in seconds. Yes, without going up, without risking your life or life of your people. You can see it's a very simple thing. You have a rolling machine operated by the switch box close to the gate, and you roll it down. And only thing you need to do when it's on the floor, you just grab it to get to the boxes. Yes, and in fact, the job is done. There. Yeah. That's it. So then it looks like this when it's to the top. You see? Practice. This is practice. The client, these were the first days that he was using the system, yes? My team finished the job, and I came to the training, and he was already loading. And he was not aware of how big problems he is causing himself, yes? So, and good thing about suction covers is that also, you know, the forklift was late, which he ordered, so he had an old forklift who could lift only 5 boxes, not 6. Yeah, so he was loading 5 boxes here, and with suction cover it is very easy to load it less, yes, and to have also some steps, for example. Yeah, with the blowing system, it's a different story. And when you speak with competition, also. In many cases, they offer to you a blowing system. I would like to tell you the differences between the suction and the blowing system. The principle of how it works is very similar. Who of you have seen things like that? Who has it? Any of you?
There was one company in Stapar who have that system, like Tosma, I think, made a system for them.
Yeah. If the name was mentioned, then let's go for it. In fact, that competition really forces that this is the best system ever, you should go for it, and so on and so on. I have very different opinion about this. And it's not about the principle, that how it works, because the principle is almost the same. Instead of sucking the air, we blow. Yes? So for the let's say the airflow, it's almost the same. We have a horizontal airflow through the box, yes, only the different direction. But one of the most important differences is that you have a balloon like this, yes? It's a perfect system also for onions, for garlic, for everything. It really needs to be ventilated. Suction system also. But you can see here that it has to be inflated 24/7, 7 days a week, all month, all year. When it's stored, it has to be inflated. Yes? It's a small pump, but still it consumes some energy. Yes? Second thing is, if in most of the cases you have one pump per cell, the pump breaks down, your whole cell is without ventilation. Yes? Because there is no more insulation between the rows, and the air will go where it wants. Yes? It will not go through the product. The second thing, if you will lose the pressure because this is damaged, nail is pointing out, or a forklift driver tear it apart, or whatever, you are screwed. You have huge problem. Yes, because you lose the pressure in the whole system, and the system doesn't work. And you know, sometimes there are, let's say, cheap shots between us, between companies that we compete. So, I've run on it a few times already. it was like this, that the competition said that, well, this is the perfect system, the blowing system, the airflow is perfect, etc., etc. But the balloons you do yourself, yes? Because you will save a lot of money, yes? It's very, very easy thing to do. We will not do it yourself. But why? You know, and not, you are here for business, I'm here for business, we all are here to earn money, yes? Let's be honest. If there is a way to earn money, normal person would go for it. If someone is telling you, hey, do it yourself, yes? It's easy, do it yourself, you will save money. He's afraid of something. He's afraid of the fact that it is unstable. It happens that it breaks. And if it breaks, you are to blame. Our system works, yes? Don't get me wrong, yes? It's your problem. Solve it, yes? And I've seen this kind of behavior a few times already. With suction cover, if it will be torn apart in a place, it will have a opening, and it's just a few centimeters. You can have a duct tape and repair it. For example, if the winding system will be broken, you can do it manually. Of course, you need to go there and have, for example, Makita screwdriver. Just put it, and it drops down. That's it, yes, or goes up. It's as easy as like that, yes. And the other thing is that I will draw it. Imagine there's a box and another box. Suction system it will be, and here we have a box and another box. And here it's a blowing system. Here is a suction. And potatoes. You see? In suction system, we suck the air here, yes? So the air will go, the shortest way possible is beneath the curtain. Yes, so as long as the curtain catches, then it will go through it. With the balloon, the air is blown. Yes, so the shortest way is here. Yeah, you see, this is the shortest way, and it is quite common that the box is loaded like this. Yes, so a lot of air is going out. Another thing. Question to you guys. When you build a building, what two parts of the building are the most expensive? Which one? Any ideas? Doors and windows? Not floor and the roof and the floor. Yes? So, that means that you should go high. Yes? You should go high. And for example, if well, the common standard worldwide is 6 boxes, yes, 7.5 meters, yes, and logistic-wise, it's also very good idea because then the forklift drivers can have 2 boxes, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, yes. If you have 5, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1, it's always a mess. And 5 to 6 compared, it's 20% more. 20% more capacity, with in fact the same price for floor and for roof. Yes, the system will also the price in it will be almost none. Yes, and the further you have from the supplier, yes, because the teams have to go here, the transport costs and everything. Yes, so you should go high. If you go high, your forklift driver will not like you. Yeah. Because what happens then? It's also real life, it's practice. Yes? The forklift driver, when it's 6 boxes high, it's 7.5 meters. If it's 7 boxes high, we have systems like that. This is 7 boxes high. I will show you in a moment. It's over 8 meters. Yes? The forklift driver doesn't see nothing. And the forks is like this. Yes? It's waving. So he's putting the boxes the best he can. But this is the best he can. Yes? And you see how many leakages we will have with the balloon. This is it. Yes? So we are constantly losing the pressure in every single row, non-stop. Yes? And the bigger the differences are, the bigger problem we have. With suction cover, this problem doesn't exist. Yes? So that's a huge added value for the suction covers. Yeah. And you see, because this is our, these photos are from competition. For those of you who knows the brand, you know the brand. But sometimes we also do the blowing systems, because, you know, the client makes the final decision. If he wants, I want Omnivent, but I want blowing system, period. Okay, be my guest. It's 7, you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes? It is the maximum. I haven't seen 8 boxes. We are doing sometimes 7, but that's practical maximum. Yes? And it can be done in a good way. So, yes? So this is something you can consider. But then, especially, I think you need to go for a suction system, not a blowing. Blowing system, to be honest with you, has one huge advantage over suction system, and it's the position of the hatches. Because with the suction system, compared with the room ventilation unit, it has to be on the same wall. Otherwise, it will not work. Yes, because how the air flows. I haven't said that. I have to go back. But with blowing system, because of the fact that we are blowing between the rows, the outlet hatches can be on any side wall possible. Yes, so it doesn't make, in fact, any difference. Yes, if it will be very wide cell, then it can make a difference. It should not be on the side wall. It should be on the back wall, or the front. But in most of the cases, that doesn't make any difference. But to come back to this drawing. To come back to this drawing, you see that here we create under pressure, like I said. So here we create under pressure. The fans are blowing the air up, and these are outlet hatches. The air goes out through this one. So we create under pressure in the whole cell. Yes? So naturally, when the inlet hatches are open, the air naturally goes in. Yes? And it goes above the boxes. It goes above the boxes, drops between the rows, and then goes through the box and through the product. Yes? And then through the product. And all over again, all over again. When the temperature outside is not suitable for ventilation, the hatches are closed. The circulation of the air is the same, and then we put evaporators. And the best position is here. I've seen on Agronom website that it's on the side. I wonder if you see the difference in the product with Delta. Yes, because the perfect, I don't know how big are your cells, but the perfect position for the coolers is this. Yes, you see? There's a pressure wall. The air goes to the top, and evaporators are in the natural stream of the air. Yes? So we do not fight with it, we do not mix it, we do not make any turbulence. We just use the natural airflow, how it goes. And then the air is blown on the evaporators, so we even increase the capacity of the fans. Yes? And then it goes further, drops between the boxes, goes through the boxes, and goes again to the pressure wall, and again, and again, and again. Yes? So, and this is, we were talking about humidification, how important it is. And this is the best option available on the market. Yes? It's not rocket science, everyone has it. Yes, everyone calls it in a different way, but this is evaporative humidification. It works like this, that here on the sides, there are pads. They are 30 centimeters thick. This one we call Omnibreeze. It's 30 centimeters thick, and it has a structure like honey. So it has a huge surface. And the air, which is going through that structure, takes the moisture because it's constantly moist with water which is dripping on it. Yes, we have a small pump which throws the water on top of it, and the water goes down. Yes, and we suck the air through it. So the air which goes through it is 100% humid, 100%. Yes, and we blow this humid air with the fan to the product. Yes, the best. Why is it the best, in my opinion? Because if you have a nozzle humidification, yes, so the sprayer, yes, even if you have the best sprayer on the world, it's a drop. It has few microns, but it's a drop. It's water. Yes, and the question is, will it evaporate on the airstream or not? If you are very close to 100%, it will not evaporate. And what will happen? It will drop on your product. It will drop on your product, it will get wet, it will rot, you will throw it away. Well, with this machine, if the air is already 100% humid, it will not take more air. It's just like that, yes? Like when you have a jar filled with water. If it's closed, if it's fixed, it will not evaporate because the air on top of it, on top of that water, is already humid 100%. It will not take more. If you will exchange this air, then it will disappear. It's just a matter of time. Yes. So, and why am I saying that you should be as close to 100% as possible? We have krumpira, or krompira in Serbian. Yeah? Yeah. We have krumpira, and it's alive, yes? And on the surface of it, there are cells which breathes. What's the word in Serbian for it? Dish? Yes. Yes, so it breathes, yes? It takes O2, oxygen, and it evaporates, exhales CO2 plus energy. It was shown also on the presentation of the professor, yes? And this is something we cannot stop. If we will stop it, we will kill it, yes? Because it's a living creature. We can slow it down. We can slow it down with lowering the temperature. The lower the temperature is, the slower it breathes. Yes? So we can lower it down. But the loss, and also plus HO2. Yes? Like us, when we exhale, there is a vapor. Yes? There is water coming out. When the potato is breathing, it's exactly the same. But well, professors say maybe differently, but in a not common amount. But they say that it's 4 to 6% of natural losses. Do you agree with the breathing is 4 to 6% of natural losses? All the rest is through the skin. Yes, it's evaporation. Yes, it's through the skin. That's why it is so important that during drying healing period, so the first days of the potato in storage, we have to do everything possible to make the skin set as best as possible. The job needs to be done also on the field, yes, because there are varieties, yes, for example, super fresh, yes, super fresh varieties. They don't have skin, yes, and you will not store them. That's why. They will lose humidity immediately because they don't have skin. Yes, it's not because they are different in any way. They don't have skin. Yes, so the best varieties when it comes to the preservation of the weight are the ones with the thick skin. Yes, maybe they are not so popular on the table because people now buy with their eyes. Yes, it's nice, it's yellow or red, depending on the preference. But if it looks nice, I will buy it. Yes, but also what's important is that when he will take it, it needs to be firm, not like a sponge. Yes, and it will be firm when it will not lose the moisture. Yes, and I always use an example of a jar, or I don't know the word in English, but when the rain drops on roads, everything, you have water. Yes, in Polish it's kałuża. Maybe it's similar somewhere in Serbian. But you have water. If there's no wind, it will stay for 1 day, for 2 days maybe. But if it's very windy, it will disappear in hours. Have you noticed that? Yes? When it's windy, it disappears in hours. Why? The water evaporates all the time. All the time. Only the tempo is depending on the temperature. Even if it's ice, yes? If it's freezing outside, and there's been snow for 2 weeks and there's no new snow, the snow slowly disappears. Yes, so even ice also evaporates. It's just a matter of tempo. Yeah, and so if it evaporates, it moisturizes the air, the small amount of air on the layer of water. Yes, and if you will not exchange that air, it will not evaporate anymore, because it's full of water, yes? But if you will exchange that air, then you will dehydrate more. And where am I going? Why do I say that? Because it's a common trick of companies from our brand, of our industry, that they say to you, install frequency drives. They will save your money, yes, because when you turn down the RPMs of the fan, yes, you lower down the power consumption, and then you will save money. Yeah, it's a lie, in fact, because if we agreed that the potato is losing weight constantly, non-stop, only the matter of tempo, so we can say that here it is. It's evaporation, so loss of the weight, and this is time. Yes? And let's say these are hours. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And let's say that you have a storage that you want to cool down 0.5 degree. Yes? And let's say that you need to ventilate 100,000 cubic meters of air, which is colder 2 degrees than the product. Yeah? Let's say it's 100,000 cubic meter of air, which is colder of 2 degrees Celsius to cool down 0.5 degree your product. If you have a fan which has 50,000 cubic meters per hour, yes, and you have 2 of those in your storage, how much time do you need? 1 hour, yes? 1 hour, 100,000 cubic meter, 0.5 degree down. Job done. Hatches closes, fans off, job done, yes? If you were told, hey, dear customers, save money, lower down your capacity, yeah? Okay, you lower down your capacity. But you still need 100,000 cubic meters. It's physics. You will not change it, yes? You still need 100,000. If you will slow it down to, let's say, 50%, you will need 2 hours, yes? Because if you have only half of the capacity, yes, you will need 2 hours. Okay, from electric point of view, you will save some amperes, yes, kiloampere hours, yes, you will save. But instead of 1 hour, you exchange the air in your storage for 2 hours. So, instead of this dehydration, you have this dehydration. Yeah? And storage is not a hospital. Potatoes do not grow in a storage. The only thing we can do is to limit the loss. That's our task. Yes? And by slowing down the fans, or this is also constant discussion between us and the competition, because we usually suggest the biggest amount of air. And the people say, why? It's enough with 1/3 of it. Yes? Yeah, it is. But you need 3 times more. And what happens now, like today? Yes? When we woke up, it was around 0. Yes? So you were able to ventilate your storages with outside air. Yes? And if you have a system that needs 4 hours to cool it down, you don't have time. And then your average temperature per day already grows. So during the day, you need to start the cooling, yes, which consumes a lot of energy. Yes? Doesn't matter what type you have. It consumes a lot of energy. So it's better to invest a bit more in bigger ventilation capacity, because then the job would be done today. And if you don't have cooling, then your temperature will grow. Yes? So that's the biggest, let's say, commercial lie. We will save your money. Yes? Do less, yeah, because it's enough. We will save your money. But this is, in fact, the practice. We should be able to do the job in 2 hours per day maximum, yes, to keep the temperature, yes, especially with ventilation, because then, also in this climate, yes, it's a lot warmer than now in Poland. It's like a spring, it's a beautiful day, but still, this day was enough to cool down your product, yes, if you are able to. If not, you're screwed, in fact. I think I should finish, yes? Okay, guys. I hope you see that there is millions of things, of small details, which you have to consider, yes? And I really invite you to contact us directly, yes? Our, let's say, policy will change, and it's changing. We want to be closer to the client, because with all due respect for all the dealers, they are not as specialists as we are. Well, this is our life. This is our job. We focus on that small part of the business. And we think and we hope that we can give you that added value which you are missing with those small details. Yes? And I would really like to visit you, to have a look at what you have. Maybe you have some small mistakes, or maybe not mistakes. Maybe you can do something more, something better, yes? And those small things makes the huge difference, yes? The quality of the product, the working hours of the system, everything counts, yes? Don't be happy with what you have, yes? Because it's working, yes? Try to squeeze the best of it, because even if you have Omnivent storages, yes? And, well, we visited clients recently in this area. There are clients who have our system for 10 years, for 15 years, and they haven't seen Omnivent. They haven't seen an engineer from Omnivent, yes? And they are saying, Omnivent, oh, I don't see why is it considered as a top brand, yes? Because I have problems, I don't have help, because of whatever, yes? Contact us directly, yes? And based on our direct cooperation, judge us, yes? Because that's what we would like to achieve, yes? With partners like Zagro, who will be helping us to communicate. But the communication needs to be direct, yes? Well, I hope this is the first from many seminars. But thank you very much. It was a real pleasure for me. I'm honored. Thank you. There's a question, yes? There's a question? Yeah, there's a question. Or we can do it later also. Oh, just a second.
Ali vidite, zašto neće da... Je to ovo ili? Ovo će ti se sad otvoriti, ti samo ovdje listaj. A? Ti samo listaš na ovo.
Listaj ti to često.
Pa neću ja, ti ćeš listati kad uzmeš pričati.
A?
Ovdje.
Možda, da li je neophodno? Može bi ovako. Okay. Ja bih želeo da vas pozdravim ispred kompanije MASTER FRIGO iz Beograda i u kratkim crtama ćemo samo proći malo kroz to čime se mi bavimo, šta radimo i gdje bi eventualno mogli da pomognemo u nekoj budućoj saradnji, da bi to objedinili sve i da bi mogli da neku upotpunimo kompletnu i ovu današnju priču, a i uopšte da koliko možemo jedni drugim da pomognemo u ovim projektima i razjašnjenju ovih stvari. Tako da kompanija MASTER FRIGO postoji od 1992. godine. Mi bavimo se inače kompletnom izgradnjom objekata sa klimatizacijama, hlađenjima i drugim stvarima. Znači, mi radimo kompletno objekte i projektovanje, izvođenje, ključ u ruke. Radimo sve velike sisteme. U okviru MASTER FRIGO kompanije postoji MASTER FRIGO Sales. To je kompanija koja se bavi distribucijom rashladne opreme i zastupamo negdje oko 30 vodećih svetskih kompanija, nešto zastupamo za istočnu Evropu, nešto za ex-Jugoslaviju, nešto Srbiju, Crna Gora, Makedonija i Bosna. Ima tu, uglavnom, to su firme koje snabdevamo sa komponentama, da radimo projektovanje i izradu tih velikih sistema. Znači, u sastavu MASTER FRIGO smo rekli MASTER FRIGO Sales, distribucija, MASTER FRIGO projekt, koji se bavi projektovanjem kompletnih, znači, objekata. Znači, radimo kompletno projektovanje i građevinske radove i mašinske projekte, elektroprojekte i tako dalje. U MASTER FRIGO postoji 10 inženjera, uvijek radi elektromašinske struke i druge gde su na raspolaganju. Imamo svoje predstavništva, znači, u Banja Luci, Zagrebu, Temišvaru, Bukureštu, Podgorici, Sofiji, Skoplju i tako dalje. Pored toga, u MASTER FRIGO kompaniji je firma MASTER FRIGO Fruits, koja se bavi otkupom, preradom, zamrzavanjem voća. Znači, uglavnom radimo smrznuto voće, u svom sastavu imamo centralnu hladnjaču koja je između Požege i Arilja, imamo 12 svojih hladnjača u Srbiji, gde radimo otkup uglavnom voća i to izvozimo, znači, u sve trgovinske lance u svetu. Znači, mi direktno otkupljujemo, prerađujemo, pakujemo u ta razna pakovanja i prodajemo uglavnom supermarketima po celom svetu. Prisutni smo u Americi, Japanu, Australiji, Skandinavija, Švedska, Norveška, Finska, Danska, radimo Francusku, Auchan, Carrefour, Leclerc, sve najveće trgovinske lance u svetu snabdevamo sa smrznutim voćem. Kapaciteti neki naši su oko 10.000 tona, mi izvozimo smrznutog voća. I tako da tu smo u joint venture-u sa najvećom japanskom kompanijom u kojoj je grupaciji isto američka kompanija d.o.o, ako neko, svi poznati su u tome što imamo one banane i ananas, imamo one nalepce žuto, tako da su oni u našoj grupaciji i u joint venture-u smo tu sa njima, gde je MASTER FRIGO kompanija vlasništvo 51%, 49% su oni. Znači, to usput kažemo to, imam i u sastavu dve mlekare na PK Zlatibor, znači mlekaru na Zlatiboru i u Blacu. Uglavnom radimo sve projekte i projekte za naše i naše objekte i za druge, znači radimo, tako da smo dosta tu uključeni u problematiku rešavanja tih tehničkih, tehnoloških pitanja i tako dalje. Znači, prisutni smo i u mlečnoj industriji, u mesnoj industriji, u svrznuto voće, povrće i tako dalje i tako dalje. Znači, prisutni smo svuda, ovde vidite i naše sve partnere, radili smo puno projekata. Tu negde u Srbiji imamo, što smo mi isprojektovali, radili preko 300 hladnjača, smo radili mi u Srbiji, MASTER FRIGO. I radimo i u susednim zemljama, tako dosta to i najveće projekte, ali to da se ne optereće Imlek, vidite gore Subotica, Sombole, i tako dalje, i tako dalje. Mi smo radili kompletno projekte, tu isporuku opreme, montažu i tako dalje, i tako dalje. Znači, tako, frikom, puno svega toga, pik beče i tako dalje, da se ne opterećemo. Znači, uglavnom prisutni smo svugdje gde je neophodno izgradnja objekata, hlađenje, rešavanje čuvanja proizvoda, da li to bilo voće, da li povrće, da li drugi neki sistemi u mlekarama, razne vrste sazrevanja, sireva, ostalih sve stvari, gde je neophodna ta neki posebni uslovi, osnovno ta neke temperature određene i vlažnosti, kao što nam je ovde u voću to neophodno i u povrću, tako isto to i ovim drugim branžama, ali da vas sa tim mnogo ne opterećujemo. Tako da, otprilike, imamo na lageru, ozbiljan lager, recimo, rashladne opreme, kao što je u Beogradu negde preko 20 miliona eura, imamo tako u Banja Luci, Zagrebu, Temišvaru, Bukureštu, Sefri, znači, tako da prisutni smo da bi mogli u svakom trenutku da odgovorimo na bilo koji kvari, da bi mogli da odradimo bilo koji zadati projekat. Sarađujemo sa svim kompanijama u svetu iz oblasti tog hlađenja, tako da je to, evo, tu vidimo taj centralni magacin u Beogradu. Tako da, to su sve rezervni delovi za opremu i to je otprilike to što vidite, to je nešto što može biti interesantno i što može biti interesantno i u vašim relacijama, da možemo preko MASTER FRIGO objediniti ove relacije, sve oni da ponude svoj deo priče, znači svoj deo opreme, mi ono ostalo što je neophodno, što mi tu i damo, tako da možemo ponuditi kompletne projekte. Radimo ogromne, najveće projekte, znači u zemlji koje se radimo mi, a te nešto manje imamo firme sa kojima sarađujemo u regionu i kojima radimo, gde mi radimo projektovanje, isporuku opreme, oni radi montažu nekih tih manjih objekata. Uglavnom, sve prolazi tu reviziju svih projekata, isporučuju opremne specifikacije, proračune rade inženjeri MASTER FRIGA i oni garantuju za tu celu priču. Znači, radi se po svim standardima, normalno podrazumeva se, pošto i mi izvozimo, recimo mi izvozimo 100% na sve naše proizvode, što se tiče voća i svi drugi proizvođači za koje radimo, podrazumeva se da moraju imati sve ispunjene, svi standardi i ostalo sve, tako da podrazumeva se sve što u svetu se radi, mi to radimo. Ne postoji ništa u svetu što se radi, a da mi tu nismo prisutni i da ne možemo to uraditi, tako da radimo i projekte i za van, pa radimo za kompanije ozbiljne, koje nisu u Srbiji, radimo projekte i za kompanije iz Evrope i drugih kontinenata, tako da to je nešto što možemo da ponudimo i što možemo da vam pružimo. Eto, ja ne bih mnogo dužio, imali smo iscrpne, stvarno, zahvaljujem se prethodni sagovornici, profesore, bili ste dobri, malo su vas skratili, ja mislim da bi bilo lepo vas slušati. I imali ste bi još puno čega da kažete, što bi bilo interesantno za same proizvođače. Vi ste baš onako gađali one prave stvari koje su interesantne, o kojima bi trebali da se povede računa i da su ključne one uštede, što je interesantno. I vi ste između ekonomiste i ovoga, to mi se posebno mi se to svidjelo. Znači, matematika, ona profit je najbitnija u celom biznisu, tako da je bilo odlično.
Rekli bi mi nešto iz zamrzavanja.
Jeste, ali ste načeli ste, imali ste dobar je koncept dio. Tako da ne bih se ponavljao ni u čemu i ovi bili su iscrpni isto kolege u ovoj. Mislim da u nekoj dobroj što se malo skupili, tako mislim u nekoj dobroj pravoj organizaciji, koncepciji, u nekoj zajedničkoj priči, mislim da možemo dosta da pomognemo i toga da uradimo, a to je u interesu razvoja naše zemlje. Znači, ključna stvar je, mislim, dodatnu cenu na onom proizvodu, što ste pričali, onu dodatnu cenu koja bi trebala da ovaj način, put kako oni mogu ostvariti neku dodatnu još zaradu u onome proizvodu što rade, da ne bi bili iscrpljeni skroz i napomenuli ste da ih ne bi ovi supermarketi uzeli ono malo što ostaje, da bi to malo se odradilo dalje, zapakovalo i tako po nekoj ceni koja bi bila sigurno isplativija. Ali budućnost u ovoj priči i budućnost u hrani. Ja sam iz biznisa hlađenja ušao u biznis hrane, mogu vam reći, znači ušao sam u voće, ušao sam u mleko, u proizvodnju sam ušao jer sam mislio da je budućnost ipak u hrani i to je jedino nešto što možemo mi u Srbiji, što mi u Srbiji možemo uradimo. Nažalost, kad prođem kroz Srbiju, teško je, imate preko 600.000 hektara zarasle, neke obradive površine da je bilo voće, povrće i tako dalje, zaraslo u žbunje, ali nadam se da će to doći neko vreme pa će to moći da se koristi, a Vojvodina je već rođena za to, tako da ovde je potencijal ozbiljan, treba samo to sve sklopiti i praviti. Možemo mi sve uraditi kao što se radi u svetu, samo dobro je da malo ste insistirali da se ne pravi mnogo grešaka, treba se dobro informisati, treba uraditi prave stvari, napraviti neki pravi put o tome. Mi možemo vidjeti sad još eventualno projekte koje smo sve radili. Imaju tu. Ali da vas ne opterećujem sa tim, mislim puno toga je stvarno puno za tih nekih 30 godina smo radili, stvarno puno tih projekata i prisutni smo u svim i u velikoj industriji i što se tiče znači i što se tiče svih sfera, gdje god je hrana u pitanju, mi smo tu. Tako da i osim voća, povrća, tu je i mleko i meso, znači sve Jukor, Karnex, Neoplanta, svugdje smo učestvovali tim proizvodima, Imlek, Subotička, šta ja znam, Sombole i tako dalje, tamo u Bosni, Gradačac, Kozarska Dubica, Makedonija i tako da puno toga i tendencija je ovo razvoj baš toga voća i povrća, to je baš ono što se traži i što bi mi mogli da plasiramo i trebamo iskoristiti to. Eto, to je cijela. Ja bih vas pozdravio sve još jednom, zahvalio se na strpljenju, ne bih širio. Znači imate, ja sam podelio to malo, mogu vam podeliti vizit karte, imate kontakte. Ovde, znači kogo šta ima i što god možemo, inženjeri Master Friga će vam sigurno staviti na raspolaganju i za savjet i bilo šta. A ovo mislim da je dobra relacija, da neki koncepti da možemo obuhvatiti celokupnu neku priču i zajednički odraditi bilo koji projekat. Znači, nema limita koji projekat mi u zajedničkoj nekoj priči što se tiče ove ventilacije i ove stvari, da se ne može uraditi. Tako da, dosta je, kolega je dosta se baš potrošio da potrudi neke stvari, da neke stvari razjasni šta je to bitno, što je dobro, tako da ja o tim stvarima ne bih mnogo pričao. Tako da je to. Još jednom se pozdravljam, zahvaljujem i hvala vam na strpljenju i na vremenu koje ste svi odvojili.
Yeah, I will be happy to answer your questions if you have any. No, I don't. Zoran, maybe he will. Where's the microphone? Where's the microphone?
Evo, pitajte bilo koje pitanje, ja ću.
Da, pitat ćemo. Samo slušalice mora da stave. Ne treba. Jedno kratko pitanje. Rekli ste da imate projekte ovdje u Srbiji, pa bih htjeli da znamo je li to negdje ovdje u okolini ili negdje dalje. I drugo pitanje, pre 20 godina bili smo u Holandiji i vidjeli smo skladišne prostore. Tamo su bili na tim farmama koje su van naselja, u stvari farme su na nekim površinama oko 2-3 hektara i tamo se nalaze ti sistemi za produvavanje luka i krompira. Samo da vas pitamo, prilikom uključivanja tih sistema čula se velika buka. Mi naše skladišne prostore imamo u urbanim sredinama, pa smo možda malo i zabrinuti ako naručimo nešto što nama ne odgovara zbog susjeda koji bi sigurno pravili probleme. Jel imate neki odgovor na to? Da li se nešto radilo po tim pitanjima sa tim aksijalnim ventilatorima sa manjom bukom?
Okay. First of all, because I would like to show something, can I have a technical help? Because there's someone. Because I would like to show the solution for it. Yes.
Okay.
Is there a? Yeah.
Samo da mu upalite, on će pokazati rješenja na. Dobro, moram zvati. Okay. Yes.
But in the meantime, I will try to give an answer. Yes. In fact, we have two options. First option is to use low noise fans, yes, and I can show you because most of the fans that we use are eggshell fans, yes. So there's an engine and there's a wing on it, yes, and this is. There is translation, Zoran. I cannot connect. I don't know how and why. It's
okay. Just install it again.
Again. Okay. Yeah. So we can use a different type of fan. Like many of you have also wheat. Yes, and you use a fan where the engine is on the side and there is a bell. Yes. Going in this kind of fans. In general, they have a bit less air capacity per kilowatt, but they're a lot silent. Yeah. So, oh, thanks, super, thank you. So that's the first thing we can use. I think surely I have some pictures for it. Yeah, because in most of the cases we use fans like this. Yes, the most common fan, but if I have any, I don't see him. Okay, I will not waste your time with finding it, but you know what I mean, the different type of fan, yes? And the other thing which we can do, and it also makes a huge difference, is to install this kind of thing on the hatches, yeah? You see that we put this kind of cover on the hatch, yes? And it has additional layers inside, and it is covered with a foam like it is used in acoustic studios. Yes, so it's absorbing huge amount of noise. Really, it's unbelievable how level of the noise can be decreased. Like, for example, I will try to show you. I think I have it here. Yes, I have it. You see? Here we have a client. Here is a storage. It's a room ventilation unit. And we've put hatches, outlet hatches on the sides, but let's say on the back, so it was in fact almost the same, to limit the noise, because there is a road here, there is a small fence, and there are people living. Yes, it's 30 meters, something like that. Yes, so usually it would be a disaster. He would never be able to ventilate. But we installed this kind of cover. Yes, it's also wooden, so it's also absorbing the vibrations. Yes, because if it would be a metal sheet, it would also vibrate and carry the noise. And you can see here, you have additional layers, yes, and they are all covered with that foam. Job done, no problem, yes. So that's how we deal with it, yes. And also there's a third solution, but it's less seen. I will try to find, yeah, this is it. You see, there is a fan, and around it, there is a silencer. Yes, it's also made with steel wool, mineral wool. Yes, inside, so it's absorbing the vibrations. Yes, so it's in fact a pipe made of mineral wool, which is absorbing the vibrations. Yes, so as a silencer. So that's in fact the three things we can do. Yes, so. I hope I answered your questions. Yeah. What was the third one? The first one?
The question was, can you recommend any local client in Serbia where they can come look at your system in person, visit it, etc.?
Yeah, at the moment not, because in fact we don't know each other yet. I know that Mr. Can you repeat? Yes. George is working on our yes. Yeah. He's working on our systems, and like I said, until now we were working through a dealer. So in fact, we didn't know you in person. So it's hard for me to say, hey, this is our storage, it's working well, and so on. There are our storages, yes, made with our equipment, but unfortunately they are new for me. Yes, I hope I will be able to get to know them and get to know you, and then we will be able to point that kind of storage.
Ja bih samo rekao, mi smo planirali kod Debrecena, to je dosta blizu Srbije, nije toliko daleko. Sad zbog korone i ostalih problema malo je to otežano, ali klijent je u Debrecenu prihvatio i u biti s gospodinom Kamilom je organizirano da zainteresirani stvarni klijenti koje to zanima mogu, mi smo čak mislili organizirati da ovisno o broju ljudi autobusa to treba, ali da se ide do Debrecena pogledati skladište. Skladište od Debrecena je 8000 tona za luk. Omogućili smo jedno skladište od 10.000 tona da se vidi za krumpir, drugi sistem, i da se vidi skladište 2000 tona za mrkvu i ciklu. Sad, to su neke glavne kulture za regiju. Ako ima interesa, da pače, uopće nema problema. Sva skladišta su ili Mađarska, ili Južna Poljska, ili Slovačka. U toj regiji oni imaju više od 60 velikih skladišta, 6, 8, 10, 20 i više tisuća tona. Znači da se vidi, znam, bitno je da se vidi uživo i da se popriča s ljudima koji s tim rade 2-3 godine direktno. Jer većina skladišta koja je tu građena u prošlosti, nažalost, nije gradio Omnivent, nego su gradili partner firme koje su radili neke svoje preinake kombinacije, a od njih su uzimali opremu. Tako da zato on ne želi vas voditi, jer ima i agronom, isto imate njihov sustav, ali on bi htio prvo ići do njih i vidjeti kako su to napravili prije, ako treba možda neke stvari promijeniti, ili uglavnom ne želi garantirati za tuđi posao. Ali ova skladišta u Mađarskoj, recimo u Debrecenu, to je dosta blizu i to je ozbiljno skladište, 8000 tona, i tu se može vidjeti.
Debrecen gore od ukrajinske granice?
Debrecen tu, Mađarska.
Heka KFT.
Heka.
70 km od Ukrajine.
Yeah, that's... No. You know, the fact is that we haven't done recently nothing really spectacular in this region. Well, that's why, that's one of the reasons we are here, yes. So the systems that are installed here, they are a few years old. I think none of them is with our cooling. And I think that's also worth mentioning, yes, that it is possible to work with local cooling company, yes. And if it will be done according to our standards, according to our guidelines, it can also be well, effective, yes. So that's worth mentioning. Can I make a photo? Are there any other questions? Please go ahead. I would be happy to answer your questions. Yes? Okay. So we are finishing, yes? Okay. So once again, thank you for having me here. Thank you for attention, and see you next time.
Čekaj, ja nemam ništa, mogu onda ovako. Tu je.
The only problem is the check. So pull it out. Exactly. And it's soft. Yeah. Now it's perfect. This one is seen, but it doesn't button. Exactly. Come check the photo. So I'm not the one to blame later. But this is super. Yeah. This is super. Yeah. Yes. But I think it's a good photo, even for your web page.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to